2023-2024 season. Let's get it. It's a great return. Y'all strikes back. We going live and tuned up to the mat. Relle and King still spitting the facts. Wrapping it up with little yard in the chat. Baltimore, Dallas, we still on the map. The others agree we don't know about that. We wrote the blueprints, don't know about that. And Nico, we trust that we know about that. MFFL, that new roster. Cooking up with Kirby, steak and Eliza. Hope your appetite will win in this party. Grab yourself a seat for the after game party. We never die, we live long and prosper. You ain't imagining we home like Fosters. Lightning in the sky like Dr. Frankenstein, Luka and Kyrie. They crazy the monster. The rules of the game are the same. They on every platform, same name. At WTM, have your question on screen. Keep it courteous and keep it clean. And remember to share and like. Welcome Relle and King to the mic. Wherever, whenever you hear this pod. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a Glow Yard.
Yes, sir. I'm over here eating a baby burger. YouTube, Glow Yard Gang, MFFLs, podcast listeners all over the globe, guys. Welcome to a brand spanking new episode of We Talk Mavs Members Only Edition. We do these every Friday for the members, showing love to those guys, ladies and guys, for showing love to the channel in that special way. We definitely appreciate y'all, man. I know y'all could be anywhere else in the world right now, but you're here with us. Ready to talk about these mishaps? I say these mishaps.
Yeah, you like these lads, you know, if you want to say lads, ladies. I'm like, did you forget who we talked to?
Yeah, I forgot. I want to leave the ladies out, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Listen, we appreciate, man. I got a gnat flying in here. I'm trying to kill it. He will not be still. Listen, man. Y'all already know how we do this, members. Oh, what was second?
I said Peter gonna get you, but go ahead.
Yeah, man. Listen, y'all already know how we do this, man. We just bring up the members of the channel and let you guys talk about what it is y'all want to talk about, man, when it comes to these Mavs. I know y'all got a lot of opinions. I know everybody is eager for the offseason, ready to see the man himself cook. He gonna put all elbows into this recipe this offseason. I truly believe that. Yes, I don't think they're gonna make the same mistake they made after 2022. I think he about to get it right. So let's do this, man. King, you ready, man?
I am.
All right, man. Listen, but before we start that, man, let's just go ahead and really quick show some love to the sponsors of the channel.
Yes, sir.
Before we continue, we want to give a special shout out to FANATICS for hooking the channel up with a personalized link for you guys and ladies to get all of your official NBA Dallas Mavericks merchandise and apparel. If you're interested in helping the channel at all, please scan the QR code on the screen or check out the link in the description. We appreciate all of the continued support, and big thanks go out to FANATICS once more for hooking us up over here at We Talk Mavs.
Yes, sir, ladies and gentlemen. It is not too late to go down to the description box, click on that link, and copy you some brand spanking new Mav merch. It is not too late, y'all. So it might be the perfect time, too. After the season, they usually have things on sale. So go ahead and click on that link down below. And if you want to support the channel in that special way, you can copy a new Mav gear. All right, King. Let's go ahead and do this, man.
Yep.
So this is what we're about to do. I need everybody to please listen and listen carefully. If you're going to join us on the show, members, please make sure that your audio is clear. Make sure there is no noise in the background, because we will post this as a podcast. And if I'm a podcast listener, I definitely don't want to hear extra noise in the background. So please do not have any noise in the background. Make sure your audio is clear. And if any super chats come in, guys, we have to stop and we have to read those super chats. Okay. So if any super chats come in, we address those first. Now, with all that being said, King, will you do the honors?
Yes, sir.
All right. The link is now in the description box. If you are a member of the channel.
In the comments.
I'm sorry, not say description box. Thank you. In the comments. So go ahead and click on that link. If you are a member of the channel, y'all know how this works. All right, let me see. And while they're doing that, King, let me go ahead and read this. Core, the MVP of the channel with the $4.99 dough. No, he's a Glow Yard member, of course. Much love, guys. I got my shirt. Fire. Thanks, guys. Can I interest y'all in a half-cooked lasagna? Lonzo.
Lonzo, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if the Bulls trading away, if they trading 1-for-1s and just doing stuff like that, then I mean, I ain't against it for some guys on the bench, but I ain't trading no picks.
Man, we gotta talk about that, man.
Yeah,
because I think you sent that to us.
Yep.
I was so mad when I seen that. I mean, it's already beginning.
Yep.
We already see it happening, bro. We talked about it. We said the Thunder could be that team that they finally start figuring it out. They could be real dangerous. That'll be a headache for us.
Yep.
Which is why I really wanted to win it this year. Get that ring out the way. Because it ain't gonna be any easier going forward with some of these teams coming up behind us. So,
but yes.
But yeah. Let me see. They just got one more. I try and ban me with the $4.99 dono. He said, I personally would like to see Austin Reaves. Would be a good bench player. He can dribble, drive to the rim, shoot threes, and has a mid range and not pricey. Yes, but I think I don't think LA is gonna give him up. They don't have to. I don't think they're gonna give him up. Hold on. So Frank is a 16-month member. One of our day warners. He said, Bulls maybe buying out Lonzo.
That's what I heard, Frank. That's what I heard. We may be a team that look. I mean, we just went to the finals. I don't see why I wouldn't be a team that he looks at. But yeah, I like I said, for the low, I'm absolutely taking Lonzo. Lonzo shoots a three. He's pretty good at three. Last time I saw him, and obviously plays defense, and he can run the fast break and dribble. So, absolutely.
That's right now. Lonzo or Exum?
Lonzo.
Okay. All right.
I love Exum, but Lonzo at his right, I guess, or being healthy. Yeah, bro, like Lonzo.
Hold my latte with the $5 Canada dollars. He's a Glow Yard member. Says, what up, Relle and King, Trey Murphy and Dyson Daniels, Ty Jones, Danny, Patrick Williams, my dream target, and Nico we trust. You know what's funny? Hold my latte. I'm hearing things, and I think that's kind of why around the wheelhouse he's gonna be looking for is some people like that, kind of in that range. So I can definitely see that.
Yeah, I feel like we're going. I don't know why I feel like we're gonna get somebody from. I don't know. It's Denny. I mean, I said Denny. Nico got decisions to make, bro, because he's going to get. I feel like he's going to get one of the forwards that we've been talking about. It's always the same thing. That's why Nico we trust. We already know the candidates or whatever. It's really about Nico, who he decides and who he picks up. That's how I feel, really.
Still can't believe Chicago traded your what's the boy name? Alex Caruso for a guy who can't shoot, man. Straight up.
Remember, it was a while ago where everybody was talking about you couldn't get Caruso and he was too much and all that. I tell you, just let things play out, bro, and it become you can get whatever you want, man. Like they got Caruso for damn Josh Giddey, bro. And I knew OKC was done with Josh Giddey too after all that situation.
Oh yeah,
crying off, well, damn near crying on his exit interview and all that. All that stuff got to him, bro. So I don't know what Chicago is doing. What is wrong with Chicago?
That's what I mean. I remember we went going back to the crossover. I said that. I said we talking about dysfunctional franchises. Chicago that's the one I named.
Gee.
Like nobody knows what the heck Chicago is doing. I follow a couple of Chicago podcasts, and they even I can feel their frustration on the podcast. Even one of the guys on there asked before, like, well, what are we doing? Like nobody has an idea what they're doing.
Bro, I like I said, you know how you try to understand both sides, and you're like, well, they got the picks and they're trying to do this. Even people try to make it with the Nets. You feel me? Kind of won the trade against us. And they're like, well, you got the picks and you got Dodo and all. What was Chicago doing? Like I was waiting to see are there any secret picks that are going to be attached to it or something? And they were like, I seen nothing. It's like it seemed like
I remember you said that. And then when you said that, I think like an hour later, I think that tweet, that alert came in that they didn't even give up anything. It was a straight up trade.
What does this do for Chicago?
I have no idea. I mean, I don't know unless Chicago think they getting the They're getting a better prospect, a younger prospect, I guess. I don't know.
They trying to get Kirk Heinrich back. Kirk Heinrich was a better shooter than Josh Giddey.
Oh
so,
yeah, he definitely was a better shooter.
Like,
He's not even a better defender than Kirk Heinrich. Yeah,
Kirk Heinrich is a better defender than Josh Giddey. So it doesn't make Alex Caruso better than Josh Giddey. That's what I feel like. Like I think Alex Caruso is better than Josh Giddey. So how do you trade him away for nothing but Josh Giddey? Oh my goodness, Chicago, we need to go. Do you take Zach LaVine? They try and get rid of him? Do you just his contract though, bro?
Yeah,
his contract.
Is he gonna come off the bench? I mean, you gotta come off the bench, my guy. I don't know. You're not starting for us.
He would have to come off the bench. He'd be a beast off the bench though. If he was at that point of his career where he that lost and he said, "Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna show I can win." And
you said take a Stackhouse role,
bro. If he can't, you talk yes. Stackhouse, Nick Van Exel and all that. If he came over here off the bench, our bench scoring will be done with. Like that,
bro. Remember we used to have them like 6 men, bro. Remember that back in the day? We used to always have a 6 man.
You still get them. You just gotta wait till a guy is done or almost done. Usually, like guys ain't making it to that late in their career no more.
We had Jason Terry, Antoine Jameson, Carter,
Axel. Like the reason Jameson came out the bench,
Tim Hardaway, you know.
Yeah, the reason Jameson came out the bench is because of Walker, and Jameson was a better player than Walker.
Now, you need to hear that last name. Was it?
You said Tim Hardaway. I thought you were talking about the senior because then we have senior. He was on. He didn't.
Well,
didn't he?
Well, he really didn't play that much. Yeah, he really didn't play that much with us.
So that's what I'm saying.
Him and Danny Manning.
Yeah, you get used to have. That's what you used to get. Like when you a great team. That's what I yelled about before. When you're a great team and you like. A championship level team and all those are the mid level to like what is it vet minimums that you get those players at the end that don't want to kind of like the way Chris Paul is. We just haven't got a scorer guy to be that yet. Like most of the scorers haven't hit that era of wow they're old and we're done now. But Chris Paul just hit it. Like guys usually go to that level. If Zach LaVine's there already, he's still in his 20s though, right? Like he has had 2 I think ACL injuries though, or like knee injuries. I mean,
taking away his athleticism.
Bro, if Zach LaVine said I'm done, like he already got the contract. If he said I'm willing to come off the bench, I mean, bro, Zach LaVine way better than Tim Hardaway Jr. Like I know we get mad at Tim Hardaway Jr. and we get mad at the things Zach LaVine does for the Bulls and all, but if you telling me Zach LaVine's gonna do what he does off the bench for us, that's a match in heaven. But it had the bench.
I'll get to these other ones here. Try and ban me with the 199 donuts. His Bulls went from defender to offender. Hee ha.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Then he said, Corey with the 499 dough. Excuse me, 499 dough. No glow. Y'all remember? He says, send Tim home to Michigan. Anybody y'all want from Detroit? I mean, give me anybody for Tim. Get him up out of y'all. I want him gone.
They gonna give Detroit gonna give man. Y'all told me it wasn't possible. Detroit fired Monty Williams though. But is Cade Cunningham really getting that contract? Have you heard his official yet? Because
no,
they haven't said anything, and they had the chance to do that early because the new rule change. You didn't have to wait to the. You could have made it into. You could have basically agreed on it right now, and I didn't hear anything about it yet. So,
all right, let's get the folks up here, man.
Yes, sir.
Oh, my bad, I hit it wrong.
When you stop on the guys on the lady on there as well. When you stop on them when they want me to put the link back in the chat again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey guys, you can't be a Mavs fan and not know who I don't want and who I do want. But
we know, Richard, you want to extend Maxi Kleber, we know.
Yeah. But I've been saying for a while with the salary cap and everything else that's going on, this was going to be a wild off season. Nobody saw the trade that just went down. And Cade, and remember, I'm the one that broke it about the Cade Cunningham thing to everybody. He has not been extended. And, that's why you don't jump on the first thing that comes out, because he might come available, or who knows who else could come available.
Hey, somebody's got a metronome going in the background.
It sounds like it's a blinker, Joe. Like somebody's in the car. Yep, that is.
It made that turn.
Hey man, try to keep the noise in the background down, yeah.
That's that.
All right,
Somebody got a cheap ceiling fan.
but yeah, what's up, everybody? What's on everybody's extend Maxi Kleber mind out here today?
Yeah. There are some organizations that you look at and you wonder, like, man, how does their GM have a job? Like Sean Marks in Brooklyn,
Yeah,
and
he should have been gone.
is it Donnelly? I can't remember the dude in Chicago, whatever his name is. Yeah, that guy. I mean, he just gave Alex Caruso to a guy that proved to be unplayable for the Thunder in the playoffs. I mean, the West is already going to be terrible next year for the Mavs because Ja's coming back, and if Ja's head's right, Memphis is going to be a beast. And
they got
Alex
guards
Caruso,
behind him, Joe.
what's that?
They're no names, but I know a couple of them backup guards they got behind him. They're pesky on defense.
Yeah.
They really are.
So Richard and I, about a month or so ago, spent like 3 hours on Discord going through each team, right?
Mhm.
And talking about front office and what they were going and stuff like that, what needs to happen. And you thought Oklahoma City was going to get better because they've got 33 million. They've got all those draft picks. They don't have anybody extending for a couple years from their rookie deals. But man, for them to get Caruso, good grief.
Man.
Here's the thing though. I saw on Marcel's podcast, and he was talking about Matisse Thybulle, and I was like, man, I would mind revisiting that. I mean, that was, he's a better version of DJJ, and I love DJJ, and I'm super appreciative of what he brought to the team, and I would really like to re-sign him, but I don't want to do stupid things to bring him back, especially whenever there's players like Matisse Thybulle that's got to be out there on the market. But you never can tell what Portland's going to do either. I mean, that team's in salary cap hell right now, and they're rebuilding. So
we had to trade for Matisse now, though, right?
Yeah, it's a year after a year. It's different with the whenever you sign somebody to an offer sheet, when a restricted free agent, you can trade everybody. Any other team can trade for him in 6 months, except the team that signed him to the restricted free agent contract, and then they're forbade for a year. So
I feel like he fits more the Josh Green mode, Joe. As far as if we got Matisse Thybulle over here, he would be for me more of the guy that would take Josh Green's spot and hold it down and solidify it.
I mean,
I'm not sure Josh Green ain't better.
I'm not even gonna disagree with that, Richard. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's close enough that we can argue over it, so that should say enough.
Because Josh showed a lot Josh showed a lot in the playoffs. I'm not gonna lie about that, but I feel like raw number wise, Matisse Thybulle still has him.
Matisse Thybulle is better than Josh Green, guys. I mean, he's been all defensive team 2 years recently, right? And 21 and 22. He's longer. He might not be as good a shooter as Josh Green, but he's a lot more consistent. Josh Green just kills me where he's getting, he's 3 or 4 on threes one game, and then the next game he's got that look on his face like he's scared to play. And it just
it's the bunnies that kill me with Josh.
Yeah. Yeah. The good thing is, guys, I don't want to dominate here, but the Mavericks are really set up contract wise really well. And this is one of the things where Richard and I spent a long time talking about. Like, if you get 3 guys like Zach LaVine, right? Relle, I love that. I think that dude would be awesome if he was coming off the bench. But the fact of the matter is, when you get 3 guys slotted like that, it automatically forces you to fill out way too much of your roster with vet men's.
Mm.
And the fact of the matter is there's almost 20,000 minutes in an NBA season that need to be accounted for. I think it's like 19.6, right? And you know, those minutes are better suited or better ate up with guys that are making 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, stuff like that, than having three guys playing their minutes each year. And then, you know, those vet men's filling in the rest. So I don't know. I really think the Mavericks are set up well moving forward into the future because they've got two guys that are making over 40. And then they've got THJ's the next highest paid guy. And he's coming off the books at 16.5, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to slot in there. Now I'd make an exception if Golden State decided to blow it up and they were moving on from Draymond, you know.
Does it really? My thing, I agree with everybody always say about the contract thing, but I'm like, are we really adding another contract if we? So yes, the Mavericks should not add another contract like that if they try to bring one on with the contracts they already had. I agree 100% with that. But if we saying we got a guy, if we could get Zach LaVine, not saying I even want Zach LaVine, I'm just using that name because that's already been said, and switch him out for like three guys who we don't even use, what's the loss? That's not like, what's the L?
If they would take that trade, King, you're 100% right. But who's taking Dwight, Maxey?
No, he just speaking.
I'm just saying, you just saying who taking Dwight and them, who's taking Josh Giddey for Alex Caruso?
Fair enough. You got me on that.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, you got me on that.
Like, we keep saying we got to go and not get this guy. I'm like, why don't we just get off of our bad contracts and get whoever fits? That's how I feel. Like, they're not in a bad situation right now, and we can find Zach LaVine's contract and keep the contracts exactly the same based off the guys we got on the team, and everybody that played can still play, basically. That's how I feel. Like, you just got to make smart moves to get the guys on here. It's not that you don't have the space. If we just can't hit them without losing.
I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to Zach LaVine, but they would have to take a lot of our dog crap, and they would have to give us something to take that big of a contract.
They took Josh Giddey, so I mean they might take out crap in a first round draft pick.
Shit, they might value what we have, King.
That's what I'm saying, Joe.
I just think a forward is more what we need. A 6'8" to 6'10".
Yes, Richard, I agree with
play
you.
both.
But we still need
that don't mean I would turn down, a Klay Thompson if he's willing to come off the bench, or a Zach LaVine if they're willing to come off the bench. But I don't want to make them an integral part of the team.
Yeah, I agree. Go ahead, Joe. Bro.
So Karam said right here, he said Nico has said about the owner's willingness to spend. He said, I don't think money is going to be an object, which I think we kind of figured that. He said it's about bringing in the right people. We want to win. We have to be smart about it. So kind of piggyback with what Joe was saying, I think that's they're actually going to do what you kind of said, Joe. They're going to be smart about it at the same time. I think, King, you're right. You're just trying to move out those contracts like the Tim Hardaways and Maxies, because I've heard a couple people talk about this, what Dallas can do and all that stuff. And the main two names I keep hearing them bring up, if they can find a way to move those guys, it would be easier for them to make those certain moves, is to get rid of Tim and Maxi's contracts.
Yep. Frank said earlier that he said he wants to keep the top 7 to 8 players that played. So we kind of thought that the guys in the playoffs, top 7 to 8, that would mean we down to like Timmy and like I said, Maxey and them. If you can get off of Timmy and Maxey's contracts, that's a good amount of money just right there.
29 million.
Yeah, that's a good amount right there to have somebody else play in that role. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I know Jeremy Grant. I'm hearing that, but I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Just y'all better watch out for that Paul George conversation, man. I'm telling y'all. Keep an eye on that Paul George situation, because I think somebody with talent gonna come to the Mavericks. I really do. After watching all that talk about Braun and Draymond, and I think we're gonna get a third person, a third player. It may not be as high as Paul George, maybe as low as Jeremy Grant, but like if you had the choice with their money and all up between Jeremy Grant and Paul George, wouldn't you just go for Paul George?
Paul George puts us in the finals and probably makes us a
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no
the guy that we just abused in the playoffs this year. That Paul George. I just want to make sure we're talking about the same guy.
Yeah, we talking about that guy's number 3, but I'm saying between him and Jeremy Grant. You saying the guy that don't make the playoffs at all? You rather have him?
Yeah, no, I ain't. You got
for the same contract value. That's what I'm saying. If they're around the same contract, I might take Paul George over Jeremy Grant. You feel what I'm saying?
And you got to think about how these players are going to slot in with us, and whoever comes in is going to be clearly the number 3. Paul George, and think about how the Mavs were when everybody was just slotted up one slot in the rotation, and how flawed our roster construction was, and then how when we got we got Gafford and PJ, everybody slotted better, and then we went on a run. If you brought in Paul George, we didn't kill Paul George. Paul George actually played great against us. He just was forced to be a number 1, which he clearly. Right. And if he was a 3,
he's not. I don't even think he's gonna be the 3, Joe. So I think he's gonna be. Remember, I said last episode about the 2A, 2B. Yes. I think him and Kyrie trade off about depending on matchups and who we playing against as far as who's gonna be the number 2.
Yes,
what we need. If we need a bigger guy or a taller guy that does this, like I think it fits.
He's perfect for us. And the other thing he does too is we won't see those things where Luka's getting picked up 94 feet, right? Where they're face guarding him at when
Paul George is POA. Point of attack. Absolutely.
He's bringing the ball up and initiating the offense. And King, he's doing exactly what you've been yelling for 2 years. They need to put Luka in the post and let him initiate the offense, kind of like off to the side version of what Denver does at the free throw line with Joker.
I trust PG to play point guard almost as much as I trust Kyrie to play point guard.
Yep.
I think they both can handle the rock and make plays and all out of that position and get you about 7-8 assists if they need to.
Yeah, with PG, Kyrie, and Luka, that's probably 22 assists a game.
Yeah. Yes. I think it will work, and I think Paul George will be fitted in the right spot where he can go win a championship without being that guaranteed 1 or even 2. And I think it'll work. Yes. I think it's KP going to the Boston Celtics.
I mean, that's a player that I would be like, nah, we're gonna go get guys off that scrap heap and put them at the bottom of the roster to get Paul George. Paul George is such a versatile, prized player that he fits on every roster in the NBA. There's not a team in the league that are like, hey, you want a 6'9", 6'9" wing who can really, really guard, who can initiate an offense. I mean, who doesn't want that?
I want to get Nancy and DV in here, but and I know you want to read that real quick, but let me just respond to that. I always say, I tell you all the time about skilled players, and I say I thought Kobe was the most skilled, then Kyrie came and took it over, and it's like Kyrie's the most skilled guy. And I tell you, on that top list, the top of the list or whatever, top 3 is Paul George as well. Top 5, like I think Paul George is that skilled. He may not have a mindset always to go dominate, but as far as his skill and what he can do on the court and everything, he's like a 5-tool player in baseball. That's what Paul George is. If you get that with Luka and Kyrie, you have like one of the most skilled teams in the NBA.
Yep.
Go ahead, Relle.
Hold my latte with the $2 Canada dollars. He's also a Glow Yard member. Says if PG comes, I won't call him Pandemic P ever again.
Yeah. Go for one of the worst starting lineups to having one of the most skilled starting lineups, Shaw. We'd go from that.
I just wonder if you could get him because he's 34. So is he going to want a 3-year deal? I mean, or is he going to want a 4-year deal?
Would he take 30? I think he might take 30 for the chance to win a championship, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how long are you extending him though?
You give
Philadelphia's giving him a max contract. They've already said it.
But Richard, Philly said they're not.
Yeah, Philly said they're not.
They said that's not going through. Something happened, and they're steering away from Paul George.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, and I don't think Paul George is going to stay with the Clippers again unless the Clippers give him the full max. Like the Clippers got to give him everything he can get. I think he stays in LA. If not, he may go somewhere else. And I think $30 million, like taking a discount a little bit just to play with Kyrie and Luka to go win a champion, I think he may do it. But you give him 2+1, and I may give Paul George 2+1. I think he got at least 2 years left.
Oh yeah. Man,
That's a fair contract.
Nancy needs to kind of DV need to have a time to talk, but I got things to say about Paul George. Come on, Nancy.
Nancy, DV, Larry, I better hurry before Joe take over.
Hey guys,
I
with Paul George, I think that he would space the floor really, really well, and he could definitely hit the three at a high clip, and I think he would love playing with Luka and Kyrie. I see it being an upside. I was listening to a pod from the Clippers, and they're saying that PG's people and the Clippers are not on the same page at all. So that was coming from the Clippers, kind of like the pods that you guys do, Chips and Dips or whatever they're called themselves, and they're in a space with all these new CBA rules that they can't even sign and trade them. So that's an interesting component here. And whatever we're going to do, I trust Nico completely 1,000%. I just don't want to wait to the trade deadline to be making trades. I want the guys in the locker room in the beginning of the season and going full throttle, ready to just build on this thing. And the only thing I hope for Jay Kidd is he does not use this year again as a playground and he comes out of the gate swinging.
I have a question. Is it that he can't sign and trade him because they're in the second apron? Is it after?
Yeah, they're way over the second apron. The one guy that spoke up, Joe, the one guy that spoke up, he was speaking up and he was going to the new CBA rules.
Yeah, I think there's something about that, Nancy, where that kicks in on July 1st at the new league year. So if it's going to happen, it has. If you can. I wonder if you can still aggregate up until that point in time.
Well, it makes me wonder, Joe, because the one guy said, I hope there's still enough goodwill, because there were three guys on the show. And the one guy said, I hope there's still enough goodwill between PG and the team. And then that's when the other guy that seemed to know more about these new CBA rules and said what I was just talking about.
Yeah, I know that's a fact after July 1st. I just wonder if the new rules kick in, because we're still technically in 2023, 2024.
If the Mavericks get Paul George, we might have another Cleveland versus Golden State little thing going on for a second.
Yeah,
that's literally how I feel right now. If the Mavericks were to get Paul George, it's probably going to be the odds on favorite, heavy odds on favorite, going to be Boston versus Mavericks again in the finals part 2.
He's the only player that I would really look at doing that third superstar with, because he's such a perfect fit. I mean, everybody else, I'm like, man, I don't know.
He's solidified, Joe. You know what you get from him. Like, even though we give him hell and all that stuff, we still know what Paul George. If Paul George gave us his worst version in the playoffs with this team, it would help this team. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's what Paul George would do.
Yeah.
Don't forget that one year that he dragged the to the Western Conference Finals after Kawhi had gone down, and he just kind of gave it all he had that series. He just had nothing left in the tank. They were missing pieces around him to be able to help him get over the hump. Remember that year? It's not
Nancy,
too long ago.
That was the year that Phoenix went to the finals. But if you get Paul George, you kind of replace DJJ and Tim Hardaway Jr. at the same time.
What's that? Tim Hardaway Jr. and what?
And Derrick Jones Jr. at the same time. And you can keep Derrick Jones Jr. But I'm saying you replace you get both of them in one player.
Oh, yeah. And then
if you get Paul George,
DJJ can go to the bench, and he's amazing even coming off the bench.
And then you get Jaden Hardy with some experience behind all three of those guys and all that. Like, man, you get Paul George. Stop playing. I'm done.
I don't know that DJJ off the bench is going to be as good as what people think. That one of the main reasons why DJJ was he ended up being such a good starter for us is because of Luka's gravity gave him that extra half second to get his slow release 3-point shot off.
Joe, I don't think Joe. I think Joe's guy is DJJ on the low, y'all. He just don't want to say it. But Joe also DJJ. I think he played well on the bench though. And remember when the season started, DJJ wasn't a weakness even when Josh Green was starting. It was trying to figure out what Josh Green was going to do. DJJ was playing as a professional no matter where you had him.
No, I think because he's a professional. I love that guy. I definitely want him back, you know.
But I felt like because the beginning of the season he didn't start, and he was having a good year at the beginning of the season.
We got Big J on the stage. We got
what Larry Quire, I'm surprised.
Yeah, Mr. Yes But.
I'm kind of driving right now, and my background get crazy. So I'm letting y'all talk before I interrupt.
What's going on, y'all?
What up, Big J?
My only thing I like the idea of Paul George, man. The only problem I have is from what I've been hearing, just like they said in with the Clippers, he wants a max contract. They said he wants a max contract if he goes to Philadelphia, and that's why they also been throwing out Orlando as another team that's got enough cash and talent that can attract him. But they're throwing a max contract because they got that kind of cap space. We can kind of say, hey, you can come play with us, but we'll give you 20 million less or 15 million less. I don't know if he's going to take that. We can go play with Embiid and Maxey or Paolo Banchero and the dudes down there.
Let me ask y'all one question to rebuttal on that one. I heard Brian Windhorst said after somebody watched the finals that it's some player that looked at Luka Doncic and them, he won't say, that said, I think I can help them guys out. I can be the missing piece. Funny thing is, Paul George and Joel Embiid was on the top. They were showing that little clip and all that. And out of nowhere, the what is it? Philadelphia 76ers are saying they don't want to go for Paul George anymore. But that's the first part of it. Second part, what you said, Joe, about the max. Let me throw this in there. If we did that same thing, we said Maxey and Tim. And I don't know if they can do this because, like you said, second threshold thing. Would y'all be against throwing Josh Green in there as well to give him all that?
No.
Nope, I wouldn't need to have all that money.
I give him all that, but I don't.
Dang, Joe, no answer that fast.
You can't. That's the sad state. You can't because they're the second apron.
Let's look.
When does that second apron start, though, Larry? Is it now or is it like after July 1st?
I thought it started. When is the NBA draft?
Next week, Thursday.
The draft, whenever the NBA draft is like the next day.
The financial year is like July 5th, I believe, is when the new financial year starts, fiscal year.
So probably got to be done before the 5th, Big J, like in the.
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. It has to be done before the new fiscal year kicks. Just like that's why I think the Kings did that signing for Malik Monk. They agreed to him, under the new CBA. But I think
is the draft before the 5th? So the draft before the 5th. So
I think it's this week.
So that's why I really want to have the show after we have the draft, because if we end up drafting Bronny James, like people saying we're going to try to and all that, it makes a whole different conversation of what we're going to do and what we're going to try to do and all that. So I'll see. I need to know the rules though, exactly of how that new CBA works though, when it kicks in.
Because that's the thing too.
What do you need to know about the CBA?
Because if the threshold doesn't kick in until the July 5th, can't you make the trade happen before July 5th then?
The thing is that you can, but then we would all be hard capped. That's the situation. So
I know we're gonna be hard. We're gonna be hard capped. If we get Paul George, that's a wrap. I don't think if we go get Paul George, I think they think we better win a championship. Like I think we got the pressure on our shoulders now, like the Celtics had this year. If you go get Paul George, you better go win a championship this year. And I think that should be the right pressure if we go get Paul George.
Because I think you're going to lose DJJ in that situation too, just because of the cap.
You have to do the trade on the draft day. That'd be your best bet to do it. I don't know if you can do it right now.
And that's when we get our other draft
days. You have to do it draft day.
And that's when we can use the draft. The trade is on draft day, correct?
Yes, you will have to do it on draft day.
Yep.
But the problem running into it is, I can see the Clippers taking Timmy. I can honestly see the Clippers taking Josh Green. They could use the extra younger body. I don't know if they'll take Max. Max is not a major.
Larry, they would. They don't have Batum no more. Who they got behind? What's his name to shoot to do any kind of different offense? What's his name? Zubac.
I understand what you're saying. It's just because I agree. I love the idea to get Paul George. Let me first say that I would love the idea to get Paul George. That will fix the whole thing I complained about a while ago, where you need to upgrade your 3 spot. It's our glaring weakness is our 3 spot. It's dealing with the Clippers. I think it's going to be the hard part, especially now that Jerry West up passed.
Wouldn't that make it better? One, And two, because Paul George is a free agent, don't you kind of got the Clippers how you want them, pause? Because they could lose him like Jalen Brunson, right?
Yeah, because he's
They can
an
lose him for
unrestricted
nothing.
free agent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's
a free
unrestricted.
agent, right? He's an unrestricted free agent, correct?
Yes, sir.
So if Paul George says he wants to come to the Mavericks, I think the Clippers got to get whatever they can get.
Yeah, you'd have to get it done, like you were saying,
I
before
agree.
the new fiscal year.
I would say next week's show is going to be kind of interesting, y'all.
Let's go get that draft done. That's how I feel like. I think we, with Kyrie here, Jason Kidd, Nico, Luka, right? And we just made the finals. That whole narrative of the Mavericks can't win and all that. Now players are looking at us like they got an awesome team over there. We might get an Eric Gordon or something on the low. You feel me? Like it's going to be players now that's going to want to come here.
Like that. Would Wemby said that? Oh man, I'd pay good money to find out who said that.
I'm telling you. I feel like the way I don't know if it was Paul George, but the way it looks makes it look like maybe it was Paul George because they were all flirting him and Joel Embiid on the show, and it was more Joel Embiid trying to get Paul's attention, and Paul like, nah, I don't know, man, chill. But I'm just saying the only guy I'm looking at Paul George, man. But if Paul George came here, like I said, and Paul George got the mindset where he's a selfless dude as well. I mean, we can call it what it is. We can talk about the positives and the negatives. One of the positives, he's a selfless dude, sometimes too selfless. And if he comes and plays on this team, I don't think he have any problem playing defense, being that guy, because he does it even when he scores and going out there. And you're talking about a guy that can make not only an open three. Hold up, Paul George in the corner open, but then when you collapse like a heavy collapse or doing something reckless, some of the guy that can take you off the dribble as far as bang bang move to the rim and dunk on somebody or something. That's it. Or throw the lob up to Lively or something like that. Come on, man. Come on. That's a wrap. That's done. I'm giving him whatever he wants. Like, I'm done. As long as if he's talking about not touching the players that we had playing, Larry, and you can go ahead, I'm giving him everything he wants if the Clippers don't have no choice.
My question wasn't going to be my statement wasn't going to be a disagreement.
Right, Larry?
What you say, Larry? Hold on, Richard. What you say, Larry?
No, listen, guys, I just tried it on two different things. It doesn't work. Yeah.
They can't sign and trade him. The only way he could come would be as if he just come and we signed him outright. And the only way we could do that is if we clear out Maxey and Tim. We could salary dump both of them, or can we?
Well, we'll see. Logan with $2 donor says, I just want Luka to come into next season ripped.
Logan, that's a whole different player. Every time Luka gets in better shape, it's like adding a half of a player or something. If he comes in the season ripped, that means he can go out there and play the defense when he gets down in position. Pause, you feel me? Stay there the whole game, play that way, and do the things he does on offense and not get tired and drop to the rim almost every time. That's a different beast. That's like Shaq making free throws almost.
Hey, Joe, I think you are right because, we were talking about trying to do it before the deadline, but you cannot do a sign and trade before the new fiscal year works out. So we wouldn't be able to do it. We won't be able to do that.
Mm-hmm. I just tried it on Spo Track and Fanspo, and it wouldn't work on either one. So, I don't know. That sucks. All right, on to Jeremy Grant.
I don't know yet about Jeremy. I'm just
making jokes.
Yeah, I know Joe, but I'm like, I've heard it around. I'm still sleeping on the idea. I don't know if I'm willing to give that much. And being that, like I said, we're gonna be in what Larry said earlier. That's it. Like that's probably our hard cap team and all. Like when we get him here, we're probably going somehow, some way make it that way. I don't know if I'm ready to put all that pressure on Jeremy Grant yet.
Yeah. Hey, King, I don't know if you saw what I said earlier. I messaged earlier about what they've been talking about. I know y'all iffy on Bridges.
You sent that video on Instagram. I saw Jay. Relle sent me the video as well.
Which one? Because I was talking about the Miles Bridges thing where they was talking about Miles Bridges might only get 12.9, the regular mid-level exception. And I'm like, if we could trade Timmy,
y'all from
I
Dallas.
told you.
Y'all from Dallas.
Yeah.
Hold on, I don't want to hear that because y'all from Dallas. Last year, what's his name? Johnny B said it, right? And I was like, Johnny B, I absolutely would take Miles Bridges, but there's baggage. Like that's you gotta put him, you gotta somehow like get him to promote himself a different way. He gotta be kind of poster child of what he did.
Yeah,
And
that's listen to guys. I think that's gonna be just from the I don't know the PR part about that. We've already Jason Kidd's history with his wife, and then Miles Bridges coming in. That's
a lot. And like kids, remember, Kids was like back when he was with Phoenix, I think, right? So it was even before he won the championship with the Mavericks. And they were like, and then that got brought up, and people were using that beforehand still with Kidd. Like Miles Bridges, this situation just happened like a year and a half ago.
But he still, Jason Kidd still, whenever he interviewed the Mavericks, he had to get Cynthia Marshall's blessing, and she felt like he had made enough changes in his life that wasn't who he was. And I don't think he drinks like he used to, and all different things. And he could point to objective ways to how he was changed. Miles Bridges almost went to prison
again.
You
feel me? Like
because he doubled down.
Still ain't over with.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's the reason why his contract may be that low. That's literally
that's why. That's why.
Y'all say that, but Kyrie was a pariah 2 years ago too, right?
Yeah, but Kyrie,
it's a little different.
Kyrie never hurt nobody. That's a difference. Like you feel me? Kyrie is a cancer supposedly. Kyrie is like T.O. You feel me in football? Like T.O.'s never did nothing. Randy Moss never did nothing to anybody. They were just supposedly quote unquote cancers from the reporters and all. It's a difference than being a Greg Hardy, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Greg Hardy. Well, the thing with Greg Hardy, he got in trouble for the guns on the table. That was the first thing with Greg Hardy.
But he threw his.
I threw his girlfriend on the table.
That was because I'm a Panthers fan. That's who I was. So I look, man, Greg Hardy. I was pissed. So Greg Hardy, it's just a difference, man. And you already got that stigma already attached to your head coach. Not saying that. You know, he's that same guy and all that. We understand that you changed. I think that's part of the reason, like Joe said, of why we get mad at Jason Kidd, because he doesn't have those fiery approaches that he used to have when he was like that maybe in the past, because he's changed his personality. But
he's an asshole, quite frankly.
Yeah, but to have Miles Bridges as well, like, and Miles just, maybe you could say Miles can learn something Jason Kidd. I don't know, but that's just like, damn, y'all, like that just happened. Y'all just want to be the poster child to take anybody.
No. That's not. I don't say.
That's basically.
I think we could absorb. No, we ain't trying to be the Cowboy.
If those things would happen with Miles Bridges, then the fact of the matter is that dude's getting paid probably like a Siakam kind of contract, because that dude can flat out ball.
Yeah, Miles Bridges is an all-star waiting to happen on a team.
Yeah, for sure.
If on a winning team, Miles Bridges is an all-star waiting to happen.
And he already can play with PJ.
Yes. Yeah. You're Big J again. This is the decisions Nico need to make, because there are players that fit. There's just some baggage. I told you, Kyle Kuzma still fits. There's just damn, Kyle. Why did you say that? You feel me? It's
I wouldn't take Kyle after what he said last year. I'm like, you know what? Stay where you at, dog.
But we'll take Miles Bridges.
Okay, there's a difference in being from a basketball standpoint. Kuzma is like a loser to me after he said it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with Big J.
It's the cancer. I don't want it. That's what I'm saying, Big J. I agree on that side. It's the cancer thing again. He's the team cancer. But Miles Bridges brings a different beast.
They always say that, like, you know, you can, a locker room can absorb one malcontent like that. You know, one guy that's kind of, you know, in his own head a little bit too much. But if you bring, and the vibes on the Mavericks are immaculate, right?
Yep.
You bring one of those guys in and you can absorb it. But if you get two on your roster, then they start holding committee meetings and causing discontent.
You become the Jailblazers.
Yeah.
You become them type of teams. That's usually what happens. You become, you have malice at the palace.
Hop on the collar.
You feel me? When something happened because you got too many of those dogs here or whatever that's thinking like that. So Man, it would be perfect, Big J. It's not that the idea of his skill. I'm 100% on board. Miles Bridges would be perfect.
100%.
Especially with that price. At that price?
No, absolutely at that price. At that price of steel, it's gonna be one of the best contracts in the league.
Yeah.
But I don't know if y'all, man, are y'all ready? We already got Kyrie attention, waiting for Kyrie to say something wrong, right? Like the media literally baits Kyrie into trying to say something wrong, right? Do we agree?
Yeah.
With the new owner being a woman, I just don't ever see that ever happening in a million years. Maybe I'm wrong.
Kyrie would talk good for Miles Bridges, and they would say he likes to do domestic violence.
So here's the question, though. Did we get any positive capital when it comes to the media by purging Cuban from the organization, basically? Because remember, Cuban had all those issues and the allegations of assault and all that stuff was going on. That's why they had to bring in St. Marshall, because they had that whole toxic, and remember even when Donnie left, they were talking about Donnie said his nephew got sexually assaulted during the interview.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there was a lot of stuff going on.
I think you got to disappear, Jay. You got to do like that Homer Simpson meme. For real, like for a second to like let people forget your name, because you can't come right out of Mark Cuban supposedly, because most people don't even know about the new owners and all that for real. They just Mark Cuban. They still think that way. So you gotta get a way to change your perception.
No, you're right, King. I was just on We Talk Hawks the other day, and all of them think that Mark Cuban's still running stuff over here.
Yeah,
had to correct them. Like, no, that's not true.
You got to back up to change your perspective and all your perception, I should say. But man, Miles,
which is why I asked that a while back. I said, so how long is the shadow of Mark Cuban going to last on this organization before people realize that he's not here anymore? Like
win the championship,
doesn't have an influence anymore.
You got to win.
You know what I heard about
Go ahead.
But what I heard about Mark Cuban was that they think I can't remember who it was, but it was somebody with respect, in that nationally, said that he thinks that Mark Cuban being on the sideline does more to rile up Luka, and they would be better off putting Mark Cuban in a box instead of down there by the team, because he's constantly bitching at the refs, and that's a easy wake to get into as a player till you're like start doing
he
that.
He instigates for Luka.
There you go.
I hate it. I hate that he does that. He's like a little kid. He's like your little brother. When you're doing something wrong, instead of telling you get out of here, he's the one saying, "No, keep going, man. You got this." It's like, come on, Mark Cuban, chill out.
Yeah.
They might remove him, man, because you've been seeing he has not been in any of the postseason runs or anything. I haven't seen him on any media TV. When we won the Western Conference Finals, he wasn't up there on the podium with everybody. I think they're pushing him to the side slowly but quickly.
He's still sitting behind the bench, BJ.
I know he sits back there, but I'm saying he's not. They're trying to make him not the face of the team.
No, he's not the face of the team anymore. I knew that after that we won the Western Conference Finals. I said that was intentionally done.
Yeah.
When Mark Cuban got put to the back on that one.
And it's basically Dumont taking over that role, and he's pretty much acting like he's going to be like more like a Robert Kraft type owner. So where he's just like, Nico, you do what you got to do.
Yeah, but Patrick Dumont said very specifically,
Nico, do what you got to do. Mark, back the fuck up. This ain't your show no more.
Yeah, and he's very specifically said they didn't pay several $1 billion for the Mavericks to not run things like they run the Las Vegas Sands Corporation, which is you hire great people and then let them do. You just basically have a cohesive idea about where you want to go long term, and then you hire badass people to do their jobs. And that's why he was like, Nico has got complete control, and he reports to me.
Demont's first year, I was just going to say, Joe, his first year is seeing this Western Conference run to the finals. This was awesome for your new owner to see that the first thing. So now that's the taste in his mouth pause where he's like, I want to get there. I want to finish the job and all that now. So I think if he's a guy that wants to spend money and he's seen that already, like we should be in good hands, especially having Nico as well.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I mean, they said they're not trying to do anything necessarily next year in the Texas legislature, but by the time 2031, they definitely want to have a plan on where they're going, and they think they could make Dallas into one of the top 5 tourist destinations in the country. and build an absolute complex there in Dallas where, you know, like the players come in, there's hotels, there's restaurants, there's clubs, there's everything, and they never leave the complex, kind of like what happened in the bubble at Orlando. And they're trying to do that and bring that to Dallas. And they're doing that not out of the goodness of their heart, but because they're trying to make that into that cheap ass real estate they bought into super valuable real estate because it makes money. And the one thing about billionaires is it's never enough.
If y'all we don't even know what kind of money we're talking about if you put a casino / resort in Dallas, bro. Like, everybody in Texas has to go to Louisiana. And I mean, look, I like Shreveport as much as the next guy, but it's not freaking Dallas.
It's a shithole, dude. Shreveport's a shithole.
Oh, it absolutely is. It's a small town that's basically, I mean, it's pretty much like the same shit that I'm from, which is Longview, only it has casinos. Like, it's basically the same shit.
Yeah. You just got to cross the river.
Awkward silence.
What happened there?
I don't know. Y'all went awkwardly silent. But
So who all do y'all think ends up getting moved? Just curious.
Tim Hardaway Jr. I know.
I mean, that's
everyone see that
obvious.
post?
That's obvious. They already his dad's already.
Yeah, man.
Josh
I
Green.
want them
Maxine
to,
needs to go, bro.
I want them to.
I think Josh Green is gone next year.
I do too.
Josh Green may be gone. I'm not. He may be, but the guys. I think the four guys that I'm watching, like I'm looking.
They've already tried to move him, so I think he's gone. Like that was a story that kind of went under the radar that Nico tried to send Josh to New York for Quentin Grimes before he got traded, but I think it fell through because he is also trying to obtain draft capital for him.
I think the four guys that we're looking out for is, like I said, Tim, Maxey, probably Josh and Jaden. They're the four guys that may be up to be moved.
Man, I guess maybe I might be in the minority here, but I've seen lots of things about Omax getting moved, and I do not want to do that at all.
Why?
I don't agree with it.
He don't even have a contract yet.
Omax should be untouchable.
He don't even have a contract yet. That makes no sense.
Crazy. It's crazy. So many people talking about wanting Gafford move, bro. Like, what the hell?
I'm with you there, Micah.
What the hell y'all talking about?
That's because of the finals. And kind of the West.
Okay, but what about before the finals, where our center rotation completely fell apart every time either Lively was hurt or whatever? So we want to go back to Powell?
No.
Doing?
I don't
agree. I was just explaining why.
I don't think Gafford. It's not that Gafford has to be gone, but I think Gafford better not be starting no more.
He not starting.
That's just all. He got to be. He better be backup. Yes, he better be a backup center now. That's it. Like it's no
that's
more.
on Kid King. Now,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I can know he's a backup all day long, but I ain't.
Don't make us dislike guys. That's what I'm saying. Kid is making you dislike guys because you've seen guys in the wrong spot. But I understand why he was starting for the run. He was a starting guy to change like the projection of the season. But next year, he cannot be the starter. Let's not play this game. That's all. You cannot. No.
I don't care who starts. I care who gets minutes in the fourth quarter.
He can't be the starter, but he still needs to play like 20 minutes.
That's fine.
I don't care who.
I don't know what
he needs to back up Lively. I don't need a set amount of minutes on him.
Right.
Back up Lively. So whatever Lively needs as far as being off the court, that's Gafford.
Right.
And if Lively's
injured, this is the one thing I did.
Gafford starts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. I don't care who starts. I care who finished the game. It just doesn't matter to me. Starting does not matter to me for this team.
But at some point, he's a young player. He's 20, about to be 21 and all. If Lively is your center and he getting all the looks, and you want him to be an all-star and all, what it look like, which it looks like it looks like he's already about to be projected almost next year as being way better than Gafford.
Yeah, and they're not.
So what was Nico talking about that they don't
stop people.
they're not wanting him to add pick and pop to his game. Like, bro, like you're gonna come up against this team again. You need to pull either Tatum or KP away from the paint, and because that's how they guarded us. They used Tatum to. Jason Tatum was guarding the bigs, and when we saw him hit that three, right, was just that little, like him taking that one of two shots, one of two 3-pointers the whole career. That one sequence pulled Tatum away from the paint. Like he needs to shoot at least 3 to 4.
Well,
so
going
then
back to what we were talking
add
about
different spaces.
30 seconds ago, with Lively on the court with Luka and Kyrie, they were 9 points better than the next lineup. So, I mean, that's a pretty huge thing in the NBA. So there's a good chance that he does start. But Gafford is on a really inexpensive contract.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And everyone wants
to
trade it now.
Solid number 2. I mean, he's a good backup.
I don't, DB. I've said that. Like, why we like Joe just said, he has a really nice contract, and he could be a very solid backup. Like, how many teams would kill to have a backup like that?
He's 25.
He's 25. Exactly.
Every team in the league.
I see people saying, "Oh, his value won't be higher. We might as well trade him now."
But what are we trading him for, though? That's what I'm saying. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
We're looking for a backup center. Who are we trading Gafford for? For who?
Yeah, you're gonna trade Gafford and get another backup center. Like, that makes no sense.
To get what backup? I mean, we don't need a starting center, so it would be foolish, and no starting center would want to come here to be a backup center. So
we should not have to don't touch the center position. We're good.
Yeah,
you got your starter, you got your backup. We're good.
If you want to get somebody else, move Dwight Powell and grab a third one that got size or something. Get a Bismack Biyombo or somebody that can play third or something like that. That's what you want to do.
Exactly.
Yep, Jackson Hayes or somebody that can get your third guy. That's
why we talking about trading. Why we talking about trading Gafford? Like, he's not I said this earlier. He's not a starter. And he's not going to be the starter next year. I'm guaranteeing he's not going to be the starter.
Rel, the other thing you always talk about is like this player. He's been in the NBA for X number of years, and he hadn't added anything to his game. I believe that Gafford could see the difference between him initiating, running the offense out of the pivot, and that he's got to be able to have some kind of post up game, something like that. I believe that he'll get better because he is young and athletic and strong through his legs. And he's not going to be a Maxey or a Dwight.
No.
Him and Lively.
He's still young, Joe. He's still young. He got time.
Yeah, he's 25.
Exactly.
He's 25
years.
People
keep forgetting that. They act like he's like 28 or 29 or something. It's like, no, the dude is 25 years old. He's a baby, bro. We got this. Yeah. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Logo $2 dono. The Dwight Howard. Boom.
Yep. There you go, Logan. If you want the third center, go get the Dwight Howard instead of Dwight Powell. There you go.
I don't think you can bring in Dwight Howard. If you can't bring in Miles Bridges, you can't bring in Dwight Howard.
Beating you white, man.
What?
Yeah.
What is
I'm not be who you are.
Yeah,
because of the lawsuit. It's an allegation against him. It's not his sexuality. The lawsuit put an allegation on him that he unwillingly did something.
Isn't that done?
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know that either.
Yeah, I thought it was over. He's still dealing with
it. Like the third person in the group came in without the person saying, "Yeah, you can bring an extra party in." That's what I'm saying. No, that's an allegation. You can't bring him back. You can't bring in.
That's what I say.
But I thought it was over with, though, is what I'm saying. It's not. So is this still going on?
They're not bringing.
I never heard that lawsuit went away.
Hypothetical, Joe, but he says he wants to. He's talking about Miles Bridges that was comparing it to be the same. So I'm what is it? Catching the bait right now. But what you said, Larry, you said it's not done with.
I never heard that lawsuit went away. Actually, last I heard, his baby mama was alluding to that she been on about the way he was, and then like he used to make people force her to not tell nobody.
I understand. I don't deal with that part as much as far as the personal. So I don't know, but I thought it was done. But if so, then nah. You're right. You shouldn't get.
Hey, real quick, y'all. Why are people thinking that Paul George is a good idea? I'm just wondering.
Why?
So
You got
this
here
is
late.
this is the latest I'm hearing from reading on the Miles Bridges stuff. This is February 2024. Criminal charges against connected to a domestic violence case against Charlotte Hornets forward Miles Bridges were dropped Tuesday because of insufficient evidence. Now I'm not sure if that was connected to the what was it, the not the billboard, but the pool ball. Yeah,
billiard
incident.
balls.
That's
the billiard ball incident.
One. That's the second one.
That was the second charges.
Yeah, the first one he was done with that one.
Okay.
Hey, yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, Big J.
On the Dwight Howard, they said it also in February of this year, they said the judge declined to dismiss the case against Dwight Howard. So that is still ongoing.
Okay.
Dwight Howard?
Yeah, that's just a third guy. We just talking about getting a center. We don't got to get Dwight Howard. Somebody just said, but yeah, that's fine. No Dwight Howard.
Okay. Another thing I wanted to clear up with the Paul George thing. He is not a unrestricted free agent. He is eligible to opt out of his last year. But there are stories of him because 76ers interests have waned over the couple of days and other teams have waned, that he might opt into his last year of 48.7 mil and then demand a trade.
Yep.
You can't trade for him. 48 million. You can't.
Yeah.
How would you come up with 48 million? We can't come up with 48 million.
We can't.
They wouldn't take
even look. Even
you can say the names, but they got one of them. 48 million is a hell of a lot.
All I'm saying, Larry. All I keep saying,
You have to get something for him.
If Paul George says out of his mouth, I am not going to sign with the Clippers, I want to go to the Mavericks, right? The Clippers have to do something, right?
You have to pull James Harden, essentially.
Right? Josh Green would be the centerpiece of that trade, though, King. I mean,
you can't do the trade.
We don't have enough to make 45.
It's not even about that. They'll be able to second apron.
You gotta make 48.
But hold on,
you gotta make exact 48.
If he opts in, can't you trade before that rule goes in effect?
Yeah, if he opts in before the deadline, he has to opt in.
Yes, can't you make that done before that? That's what I'm saying. As far as the
rule, we could make it, but they're not going to want who we would put in the trade. Like I said, Josh Green would be the centerpiece.
Yes, you have to give. We would give our young guys away. We would give our young guys away, and we'd give away the rest of those contracts to get Paul George.
Or even makes 48 million.
Look, but this is real quick. This is the thing, in my opinion, with the 3-star model, right? That when you have your two guys, right, that third guy is always going to give you basically what a $30 million player is going to give you.
And that's what we get in the future, Mike.
Because they're scaled back, right?
Yeah, we just getting them right
now.
now.
So it's never a good idea to spend $50 million on what a $30 million player can give you.
But we're not spending $50 million on him. We're just trading the contracts to get him on board to then extend him for something less possibly. We're not signing him. We don't have to sign him until next year. And then also like that whole 3-star thing, like I keep telling folks, everybody got to stop going off how other teams win a championship. That's not how it works. It just changed again. Now what we're going to say about the Celtics, they had 4 stars, almost 5. To some people think
Derek White's an all-star.
That's what I'm saying. Like you just have to.
Well, he made all NBA.
Now,
Derek White made all NBA.
But those 3 guys that we're talking about are all $30 million players. Like
but they're not going to be.
They only have 2 high-dollar players. Right in their starting lineup.
They have the 2 highest players in the NBA.
What's his name? Was the first person to sign a $300 million contract.
And now
Jaylen Brown.
315. They just said.
No one has.
But Jaylen hasn't signed. Jason.
No, Jason hasn't signed yet. But he's going.
Jason hasn't signed. Jaylen has signed his $300 million contract.
And they just gave Kristaps money.
They just extended Drew.
Yeah.
Has he
and they're both
in any? Are they paying him that $300 million contract?
Derek might
already started.
It kicks in
And
next
they're
year.
already working on White, aren't they?
Yeah,
Next year.
Go build your team, get it the best way possible that everything fits, and win a championship, man. And I really feel Paul George we needed one more guy that can do something. Yeah, you may overpay for your third guy. It's not about what he's going to do on the court exactly. Like Kristaps Porzingis got paid what, $25 million? Is that what his contract was, or something like that?
He got 30. Didn't he get 30?
He got 30, and he doesn't do nothing spectacular anymore, but he fits the role so that when you need him to do it, he does it. That's what you do with guys. Like, everybody can't touch the ball, but in those situations in the finals where we needed to pass the ball to Kyrie and Luka hands, if that ball would have touched Paul George, we'd have won.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
One second. Can I just say
Go ahead, Nancy. Yes, ma'am.
The crazy thing is like, everybody's saying that people aren't worth some. Everybody has to lay down the mindset of this money thing. It's going to go through the roof because of TV deals. And it's going to go on levels that nobody's ever seen before. And players that were never worth this kind of money are now going to be worth that kind of money. You take Drew Holiday off that team, they don't win that championship. I know Jaylen Brown won it, and I know that they were talking about Tatum, and Tatum was trying his utmost hardest to get that MVP. But neither one of them had crazy numbers.
Nancy, ask Milwaukee that. And Drew Holiday didn't have to do a bunch with numbers wise on Milwaukee either. You pay that man.
And that's where I was just going, King. That's where I was just going. When Drew Holiday was asked to have a bigger role and play bigger part of that pocket, he was not playing like he's playing in the Celtics right now. So each one of these guys only has a small role, and as long as they play that small role, they look like they're superstars, and they're all NBA and all defensive.
You put super skilled guys into a role. You put skilled guys into a role.
That's more about roles of the defense. Like,
Micah,
so, like,
it's basketball. Hold on, Micah. It's basketball IQ too, Micah. I got you saying it's about roles, but you got to get guys with. We talk about Tim Hardaway Jr. not being able to play the role he's supposed to play. You put a guy with a high basketball IQ in a role and saying, "Hey, go be Tim Hardaway, Paul George." Paul George gonna say, "Well, what the hell? Okay, it's a simple."
Yeah, granted, you can't argue with that now.
Like, it's roles. You telling guys that can be superstars. Paul George is number 3 in the MVP race before. You telling him to be a role player, to be Josh Green. Yes, come on. Like you said before, you asked McMahon to to do something.
Does it hurt you when your third guy has said on his podcast that he's not down to do dirty work?
Does it hurt me when does it hurt me when I watch him that he always doing dirty work for the Clippers though? Because Kawhi not usually there.
It's the thing about players like Paul George and Drew Holiday is they find holes in an offense or holes in a defense, and they slip into those slots. You know, you got players like Tim Hardaway. He thinks wherever he's on the court that's a good place to shoot from. The IQ of Drew Holiday and Paul George is so vastly superior to almost everybody else in the NBA. That's why like King and these people are saying that guy fits perfectly, because we need that third guy that's a high IQ guy that can fill that role for us. And if he's superstar some nights, oh my God, you put us in the finals.
Joe, how did Drew Holiday beat us in Game 3?
With the payroll
dunker spot
in the post
spot. This dude was smart enough to just say, they're playing this away. Let me take my ass in the dunker spot. It's a wide open bucket. I have a good enough basketball IQ to understand that it's an easy bucket right here. Tim doesn't understand that all the time. Josh Green, all these guys don't be understanding those simple things. We out here yelling, cut to the basket, get an easy basket. Paul George does, though.
And guys, look, we're talking about Max and all them getting older and what their flaws are. Even though Kyrie don't have the flaws, he is getting older, and another 4 years, he's gonna be gone.
He'll be the three.
We've got a limited time here to do whatever we're gonna do. So for 3 years, do you really care about what payroll is?
Richard,
if the owner don't care, why do you?
Go ahead, Nancy. I'm sorry.
If the owner doesn't care about the payroll, why do the fans care?
Yep. I
don't think it's about payroll. It's not about payroll.
It
I don't
shouldn't
care
be
about
about.
payroll.
It shouldn't be
It's
about
about
payroll, especially
it's
if
about the
he opts
CBA.
in.
It's about the
Luka
CBA.
is advanced. I
But
got
hold
you.
on, hey,
Luka,
hold on.
Andy, hold on, Andy. You can have the floor afterwards. Luka is advanced. That's always been the catch-22 of the team. Luka is advanced. He's been advanced the day he walked into the door. So it's like you can't get young guys and try to wait for them to build up because Luka's so great, but then you don't want to get old guys because you mess up the team and all. That's always been the catch-22 of the Mavericks. We now have a foundation of players that are like 25 and so. You have your foundation built. You can go get Luka, a teammate of a Kyrie that's like 30-something, and a Paul George is like 30-something. The guys that's your foundation to go win the championship. I'm sorry, your pillars to win the championship, and you got your foundation with all these young guys. We've moved all these old guys out. We have a young team now. That's my only thing. I just think if you build that ahead, you're done.
Morris.
Yes, but go ahead, Andy. It's you.
So to the person who was saying the CBA stuff. So if we're talking about Paul George opting into his final year, it's only going to be 1 year, and then if he wants to come back, we can put it on a deal that is more conducive to, I guess, not being in that second apron or something like that. And then if you're overpaying, we can possibly, now it's not a. Granted, we're not a Suns where we're dealing with multiple people who are paid max level but don't have the type of consistent impact that a Luka has. So I think if we were to put ourselves in the same position as a Suns but have guys that fit like a Luka, Kyrie, like a Paul George, I think we'll be better suited to fill that roster out more than what the Suns did with theirs.
Any,
I wouldn't have a problem.
I agree, Andy, but I also think that getting Paul George for 1 year is a good thing. You feel me? Like
I also agree with that too, King. I'm not afraid of getting Paul George here, unlike how I felt when the Suns traded for Bradley Beal. I was like, that's dumbass trade.
We can we let Paul George sit here for 1 year, right? He shows that he's worth it. Let's just hypothetically say we win the championship next year, right? Do you care what you get, Paul George?
I honestly I don't.
He's 34. 1 year,
he's 34.
I know he's 34, so obviously you don't want to be stupid. But I mean, as far as he says, hey, let's give me 30 million, you're gonna be like, hell yeah, take this 30 million. We just won the championship. Come back, let's run it back. You feel what I'm saying? Like you're gonna be set in your apron where you're like, I'm good now. Plus, you're not. None of these situations have said. Nobody has ever talked about in any of these situations we talked about signing Paul George, which means that every situation we're doing, we're keeping the same amount of books. It's the same amount of books. Nothing changes.
Well, I mean, it's like Kyrie coming up, y'all. I mean, if we start winning, you don't want to get rid of him.
And Kyrie's contract's going to get cheaper. Kyrie's next contract should be cheaper.
Contract either.
Kyrie's next contract is probably going to be cheaper than it is now.
Hey guys,
I'm more worried about the length of time, King. I mean, I don't care. Give him whatever he wants, but make it a 1-and-1.
It'll probably be either 1-and-1 or 2+1 again, Richard. I don't see more than that again. It's going to be the same thing again.
Hey, I was just going to say, the only thing I think we got to worry about is this year with the contracts and that second apron. Because with the new TV deal, the TV deal they've already negotiated so far, they're going from $2.5 billion annual in TV revenue to $7.5 to $10 billion in TV revenue, depending on if TNT opts back in. So
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Finish your point.
So I'm saying that kicks in after this next season. So I think as long as we stay below the second apron this season, we don't get penalized past that.
And that's the 1 year effect. So if you go get Paul George this year, right? Even if you're over in the second apron, you go beneath it because he comes off the books. Do you feel what I'm saying? Or you stay over it because you got a championship level team.
Hey, one thing.
But if you stay over there,
if you stay over, you're the best team in the league, so you just give them money like the Boston Celtics and all that. Like the Boston Celtics right now aren't worried about money because they have the best team in the league. They want to run it back and hopefully win as many as they can. The apron is for teams trying to catch up to you. If you're already the champion, you want to stay there as long as you can with as much money as you have to spend on that.
Stay there for 3 years before you're forced to break it up.
Unless you're saying, well, I'm done paying the tax now, which they aren't. They just threw money at these dudes. So they obviously saying,
Crazy
We're
money.
fine. We want to win championships. If our owner doesn't care, you're going to lose some money and you're going to make money in basketball. It is what it is. If you want to lose some money to win championships, then come on, then we can do this.
And just throwing this out there, we got the second richest owner in the
Yes.
league.
And he just got a taste of winning.
So a couple.
Yes.
My thing is,
or the second richest ownership group. Sorry.
A couple things about the salary cap. They call the second apron. They're calling it the Ballmer cap because they don't want teams spending money like he does, and so that's one of the reasons why the Clippers are probably going to get broke up. And the second thing is about the salary cap is
he is number one.
They got that Kevin Durant rule that it's only going to go up, because like when it went up before, they got all that salary cap and they signed Kevin Durant. Now it's only going to go up. I think it's 10% annually. So all that 7.6 is not going to go onto the books of the first year.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm about to say, Joe. It's not jumping no more. That's never going to happen.
They was able to pull that off because a 2-time unanimous MVP and top 10 player all time was on an MLE. That's why they were able to pull that off.
Stop that. He wasn't a 2-time unanimous, first and foremost, and secondly, he's not a top 10 player. But everything else is right, Micah. Go ahead, Larry.
How is he not a top 10 player?
Because he's not a top 10 player. Because top 10 players take teams to the playoffs when they by themselves, and he can't do that.
I think he meant back then. KD back then was a top 10 player.
No. He's not talking about KD, Larry.
He's talking about Steph.
Talking about Steph. They got 4 titles, 2 MVPs.
There's nobody in the top 10 that I take out for Steph Curry. There's nobody.
Hold on. Steve Nash got 2 MVPs. He's not a top 10 player. Just throw that up.
There's no one in the top 10. I'm not taking Steph Curry over Shaq, and people will yell about Shaq not being in the top 10. Hell no, I'm not taking Steph Curry over Shaq.
They smoke crack if they say Shaq ain't top 10, dude.
You taking Steph
people
over
were having to put 4 bum ass centers on their roster just to foul Shaq.
You taking Shaq over King? I mean, you taking Steph over King?
You're not taking him over Tim Duncan, and nobody ever talks about.
You taking him over Kobe? You taking him over Bird?
For me, Tim is top 5.
Yeah.
I got Tim at 5 for me.
How is Steph in the 10?
Nobody yet
I don't think there's no way you can put Steph in the 10. I have no problem with Steph. He's the second greatest one point guard, whatever you want to say, of all time. But he's not top 10. No, man.
Behind who?
Come on, man. Behind Magic.
Luka coming for that.
Luke, I didn't. Andy, you didn't ask me that question. That's we're not talking about the future. We're talking about the present. You feel me?
I don't even know about.
I don't think Steph can catch Magic. I don't think Steph.
I don't even know about that because Steph is not even that playmaker, dude. He's just a shooter.
He got to be categorized as something. And I'm not categorizing him as a 2 guard.
Steph's greatness comes
as a 1. So
Steph's greatness comes from his shooting.
As number 2 as a 1. He's not the best playmaker. He's not a top 5 playmaker.
Steph is a hybrid guard.
He is.
Shout out to
Rashad.
He's the greatest combo guard of all time. How about that?
He is, but he plays the point. So I'm putting him as a point guard.
Okay.
Because even your boy, what's that? Isaiah Thomas would turn it on and off. Pause. You feel me? As far as playmaking and scoring, he kind of was combo, and he's still considered a 1.
No, but I mean, in terms of the responsibilities of being a point guard,
Isaiah wasn't doing every step.
Even if you adjust the responsibilities to modern day basketball,
traditional point guard.
Hold on, but even if you shift the responsibilities of modern day point guards, that's still not Steph Curry.
Yeah, you're right.
Like the person who gets that offense going is Draymond.
It's Draymond. I don't want you to think I'm disagreeing with you. Don't ever. You're right. All this is correct. I'm just saying, like, then it'll get shaky though, because like Chauncey Billups is considered a good point guard, correct?
Chauncey Billups is a great point guard, yeah.
Okay, but Steph Curry averages about as many assists as Chauncey Billups.
I mean, true, yeah.
Do you feel what I'm saying? So it's like it's different systems and how they play. He's listed as a 1. So if he's a 1, I'm going to just compare him to 1s. Now, if we graded 1s on different things they did, Steph wouldn't be the highest on play.
And you curved it for responsibilities and
No, I don't. I'm not making it. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not doing a playmaking list. If we did by what their skills are on a list, that's fine. I'm going off of what they are. He's a 1. So because there's a whole bunch of things other ones can't do that Steph Curry does. So then it'll be like, well, no other one can do that. So what about this? I'm just saying, like, if he's a 1, that's the only reason I'm saying it. I'm not saying it because I think he's the greatest point guard. Like, I'd take if I need it, depending on what I need. If I need a point guard, a guy to just control the game, obviously Chris Paul is better than Steph Curry. And I'm not even the biggest Chris Paul guy. Like, you got John Stockton, all those guys. Jason Kidd is better than him in that. Like, it's a whole bunch of dudes that are better than playmaking than Steph, but he plays the 1. Klay Thompson started him on the 2, so he plays the 1. So I gotta categorize him one way. I can't. If I'd have categorized him as a 2, everybody'd have been like, "No, hell no, he's not a 2 either." You feel what I'm saying? If I'd have said, "Well, he's the 3rd best 2 of all time," like, hell no, that's Dwayne Wade. Get out of here. He can't be a 2.
You can't call him a 2 because with shooting guards, how to say this? We've seen it several times, right? Most recently with Devin Booker. 2s can't be point guards. True shooting guards can't run your offense. And that's
they were lost this year. That's
the benefit of Draymond Green, though. They just play guys out of place. They play guys the way LeBron always played. LeBron has always been the point guard on every one of his tapes. Every single, even with Kyrie, LeBron has always been the point guard. He just plays at a different position. Yeah, so you can get guys that do different things at different positions. You can play a LeBron with like a DeJuan Wagner or somebody at the point guard position that maybe isn't the greatest point guard. You can play LeBron with an Eddie House at the point guard position.
Deep cut. Oh, whack.
You feel what I'm saying? Like an Eddie House. Eddie House does not. What does Eddie House do as far as a point guard?
Shoot that ball.
That's it. Because you got LeBron that plays the point guard position.
Hell, even Magic was a point forward.
Yeah. Like, and Magic later in his career, when they were playing later on, that's why Nick Van Exel and them got mad, because Magic was playing point guard at the power 4 position. It's basketball. Like, you just play at a position, but you use your skills. That's where it is now. We at positionless basketball. We got centers. What is Joker? Is Joker a center?
No,
is Joker a center? I mean, if we're going off of center rules, where is Joker fitting the center? Because he's not a center. Old guys gonna say, hey, he's not a center.
Hey, you know what? Since you brought him up, can we have a conversation about Denver? How people are trying to say that, they're the favorites still.
That's fine. I want them to play the Mavericks so badly, Micah, next year. I hope so.
Right, but is what I'm getting at is so.
King, were you?
So I'm not gonna lie. Real quick, let me get this off. So I'm not gonna lie. I thought that Denver was gonna go to the finals. Like, my bad. But I went against that like in the last 2 to 3 months because all of a sudden I saw MPJ turn into THJ real quick. And I said, they ain't got it. And that's so I don't see how people can say that they're the favorites when it looks like going into next season, they're going to face the same issues that we faced, that they don't have a third consistent scorer.
That MP2, they can't. Everybody's saying they're just going to go add another player. How?
They can't. They're about to lose KCP for nothing and not be able to add anything.
So
they can't. That MPJ contract. And then you can have it. I know you had a question for me. MPJ contract is biting them in the butt. I knew it when it happened. The thing is, they got lucky and played 7 and 8 season, got to the finals and won a championship. But at the end of the day, they gave that guy a max for no reason, and now they're paying for it. Go ahead, Andy.
I was going to ask you because I may have remembered this wrong, but I think you agreed with me where I was of the stance that I rather have played Denver in the Western Conference Finals than the Timberwolves because I thought that was a total mismatch for.
It didn't matter to me any.
It didn't matter to me as well. I know, but a lot of people. I mean, to this day, a lot of people said if we met up with Denver in the Western Conference Finals, we would have lost. No. And I was like,
the way Anthony Edwards did at Denver, and then I was like, Luka and them gonna cook.
Yeah, I was thinking, I was like, I'd rather play Denver than the Timberwolves, and we see what we did against the Timberwolves.
We would have beat the hell
Like,
out of Denver the same way, I think, because Denver we would have slowed up Denver, I think, as far as our defense, and I don't think they would have slowed us up.
They don't have,
They don't have a team built to beat us.
Jamal Murray is not that guy. Jamal Murray is good, but he's not.
Joker's not stopping our lobs.
He's not. Yeah, absolutely.
Come on.
Absolutely.
I think the reason why people are giving Denver a pass is because, like y'all said, MPJ disappeared against Minnesota, and also Jamal Murray got hurt. And so I understand he always end up hurt. I'm not saying he doesn't, but they're saying, hey, they had a long season. You know, people always give that, it's kind of hard to back. So they're giving them the long season excuse. Jamal Murray got injured and MPJ disappeared. So they're all assuming that two of those three things might not happen next year.
I'm disappointed.
Is their bench
I'm
going to
disappointed.
show up? They had no bench.
No, Nancy, and their bench is going to get worse. But I'm disappointed, real talk, y'all. I want the boring season next year. I want the Mavericks to make a move where it's set up for a rematch. I want a rematch. I'm dead ass serious. I do not want to go back to the finals unless I want the Boston Celtics on that side. I know I want to win it no matter what and all that. I want the Boston Celtics on the other side, though. I want them to go back through the East. I hope the Mavericks get somebody and we go through the West like real fast. And it's all like this, like I said, Cleveland and Golden State. We just waiting and saying, and let's just see them go through it and let's see what's going to happen. Because I want Boston again.
You want that OKC Miami in 12 where everyone was calling it from the beginning.
Again, man, I don't want Boston. Kristaps, stay healthy, get to the finals. I want Boston, y'all. Y'all don't understand how badly the taste that just left in my mouth of Boston, man. Like nobody cares. We gave Jason Tatum a championship. Like
King, that was a big pause, man. You got to get a pause in there.
I paused it. You didn't hear me? I paused it right afterwards, Joe. Damn sure we're gonna pause that one. But as far as like that Jason Tatum getting that ring, Jason Tatum getting that ring on our watch or whatever, like that hurts. Like they're not even giving Jason Tatum respect from this ring, and we lost that one. It's another one. Like damn, Dallas. Like damn, like we always have to be associated with these, but I want them to return. Please get back to the finals. Please, Nico, let us get back to the finals, and I want you to beat them. I don't want Jason Tatum to have nothing over Luka. Please don't start that.
The funny thing is he still don't have anything over Luka.
But you know how the Celtics fans going to be foolish.
And it's only the Celtics fans. So to me, let them be. Go ahead. That's what you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be fans. But
I think I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead, Annie.
No, you're good.
I just think we're going to find out a lot about how next season's going to look here in a couple weeks if Luka decides to play in this qualifying tournament for the Olympics. Because if he doesn't decide to play, that means he's taking a longer term perspective and having the NBA at the front of his mind.
He's likely to play. I
feel like he might not. I guess it's crazy. I know it's just it ain't nothing.
What's his name? Just said he might play.
I know, but what I'm saying is, let me say the rest of the point, and I'll let you know why. Because he's going to say that Luka can't say he's not going to play for Slovenia. Like you already know, y'all probably got comments on the show and all that stuff as far as Slovenia folks talking about it. Like we know how it works. Slovenia, he's their nation. They can't say it. Like that'll be something. It probably would hurt his soul. It really would hurt his soul not to play. Yeah. But at the same time, the stuff I'm seeing from Luka, the answers, when they came back from the airport and everybody waving at the fans and Luka just left and all that, and people going on the media and all saying he got to take that next level and all that, and his mom making that post as far as son, you can do this and all that. I think this may have got him, and I don't mean it in a bad way. Like I think this may have hit him this year as far as getting there and failing, and Jason Tatum raising that trophy and all.
So you're essentially saying
he needed this setback.
You're essentially saying that this loss made
every superstar in history.
Hold on, one second. So you're essentially saying that this loss made, I guess, winning the championship a little bit more of a priority to Luka than, not over Olympic, because I still think that's probably even over a championship than Luka. But I guess for legacy reasons and pride and all that, he's like, oh yeah, no, fuck this.
I think he's starting to realize a couple things. One, Slovenia might not be good enough to medal, right? Like, so at some point you have to realize like that may not be right. They may not be good enough right now. Two, I think he understands, like, even before this year, their whole conversation, I think Kyrie and them said everybody's big thing was to come in the best shape of your life, right? That was their thing. He came in the best shape he could, come in, even being hurt already the year before, and they got to the finals. He's still hurt already right now. I know something in his head got to be saying, man, if I just take a break, and everybody's saying, I just work on my body and really get it where these people telling me, oh, we worked on body this year and I got to this point, I could really do something real quick. And I'm thinking that may be what it is. Like, he was getting tired again and people were talking about it in the fourth quarter. That's not even his fault because nobody else was showing up. We understand. Like, it is what it is, but it's the way the media portrays you.
And
if
here's the other thing.
Shredded, it's over. But go ahead, Joe.
Here's the other thing, too, about all that. All the people that were talking all the ish about him, they were also saying, now these things are correctable for Luka, and it's all a decision that he makes. If he makes a decision to get his mind right and get his body right, he can literally go to the next level where there's no doubt. And he's at some point that stuff's got to sink in, because we'd see it, like he's an absolute bitch in Dallas against Oklahoma City in Game 4, and then Game 5 comes out, he plays with joy and poetry and verve, and he plays great. And the same thing happened in Minnesota. He played horrible in Game 4. The same thing happened in Boston. He has these bad games and he bounces back. So he's seeing positive reinforcement from him making changes. So if he wants to see long-term positive reinforcement, then he's got to make those changes. And I hope that he's getting the maturity where
being so close too would also
influence. And the media is also, I mean, let's keep it real. Before the finals happened, the Dallas Mavericks coverage was awesome. They were getting ready to crown Luka Doncic. It was on the cusp. Everybody was saying even if he loses this one, he'll be the favorite for MVP next year because he got him as far as a 5th seed and all that. It's all set up for Luka right now. It's next year is still his, like, as far as he's going to be looked at, because he got the Mavericks looked at this year. Like, Lively and them all going to be looked at. They got faces. They got eyes on them now. Like, people know who Dirk Lively is. He's a Dallas Maverick rookie. People know who he is now that watch basketball. All that stuff is done. They're going to have hella games on TV next year, the Mavericks.
Hell, people know who PJ Washington is.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, all these guys getting known. Like, Luka could go, and if he takes this season as the Jordan rules or the Kobe losing Shaq, you got to go do what you do and just say, I'm going to, man, screw this off. I need to go into a just darkness for a second. And everybody just doesn't know where I am. I'm in Hawaii or somewhere overseas in Europe, just by myself, just taking care of myself in like some Rocky montage or something like that. You feel me? And I go do that. And then I come back and everybody like, next year, let's go. I'm ready to do this. He can do it. I'm just hoping. And it looks like I say, his mom even made a post. His mom made a post, which means it's really affecting him if your mother's making an Instagram post about your basketball job. I think something might happen.
I mean, I want him. I don't want him to play in the Olympic qualifier. I need him to take a rest. But I'm also of the mindset that I know those type of things are very, very important to a lot of overseas guys, and
I don't want him to lose out. So I want Luka to understand, if he wins the championship, he's going to bring recognition to Slovenia either way. If he becomes the best player in the world and the guy that's facing the NBA, and he gets his body into shape, I think that's going to make Slovenia just a travel destination. It probably already is, just getting more tourism because of the way, but still, it's going to be a great place. If he just gives his body to the offseason, like the Slovenia team, and gets injured or something like that, then that whole dream can be gone. And if he gets himself in the best shape, he'll be in the best position to help Slovenia medal. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it all works for the same reason. He just has to go take a season off to get himself in. If Luka wants to play basketball all year round, he has to get his body into a shape where he can play basketball all year round.
Yeah, because if he gets ripped, he's not going to lose leg strength. He'll put on weight by losing body fat.
He just needs to lose. That's it. He just got to lose body fat. Luka, if he loses body fat, he's already a bully. His issue is conditioning at points where he can't run and all that. if he loses that body fat, he can then go to the rim damn near the whole game. He'll rarely shoot threes and because he's not tired. He's like, "What? You guys getting tired? I'm running to the rim or whatever." Like he'd be doing that type of stuff. He just got to get his body into shape. He's a beast. He's LeBron James without the dunking.
Yeah, and his legs are super muscular. So the fact of the matter is, it's a diet and exercise thing. And then people can say, "Oh, it's this," or "I've got a disease," or "I got medicine." 99% of the people in the world who are obese is because of their diet and exercise plan. And that's something that Luka controls.
They tell me Joker can't get into shape and all that, but I see both his brothers are like big ass bouncers.
King, I know I'm interrupting you. You guys go look up like Joker playing 3-on-3 in Serbia. That dude is freaking skinny right now. There's a video that came out this past week of him playing 3-on-3 in Serbia. He's so freaking lean right now. It's incredible. I've never seen him. He looks angular. He's lost so much weight.
It might be the food in America too. I wish there's a way to.
Oh, it is. It's processed.
Yeah,
but
we got
hey, King.
Processed crap.
No, that ain't the food in America though. I ain't gonna say that because I mean it is the food in America. Two things can be right at the same time.
Because Luka always comes back.
Yeah, two things can be right at the same time because these guys look like that before they were in America too though.
Not really.
Yeah, they did. Joker was already like, which was Joker.
No, Joker looked big. Yeah, Joker looked big, but Luka didn't like. If you go back, Luka looked young.
Luka needs to stick with the Michelob, man.
Luka looked
young. He needs that low carb recovery beer.
Luka looked younger. Luka looked young. He looked younger when he was like younger, obviously. But he still, there's a reason why everybody thought he was going to look like this at some point.
Hey man, Bubble Luka was the slimmest Luka. You see the way he moves. You know that that stand back free he does on like the Clippers Luka to win the game, and he just that little dance on the spot kind of thing with his crossing over and things. He looks
that's still not in shape. He still was the worst person in shape.
But he looked fast though. Like,
and that's fine, but that's still not in shape. That's what I'm saying. Like he does it. That every year we find ways to look in the offseason and say, "Damn, I see a shadow on Luka's arm, and like he got a little bit of muscle." Like we know what in shape is. We know what it is. We keep trying to find ways to say, "Oh, maybe he's a little bit more in shape and all." When Luka comes back and we look at him and say Luka's in shape, that's the Luka I'm talking about.
I mean, and this stuff about him being like this stuff about people and saying like, "Oh, like yeah, but like that's just how he is. That's just his genetics." I'm like, no, dude. Like if this guy just like if I was his team, I'd be like, all right, Luka, you're gonna be getting leg massages every day. You're gonna be drinking mineral water. We're gonna have you out in the sun. We're gonna have you like flipping, doing cardio and physio and all this kind of stuff. You're gonna have eating steak salads. I mean, that's how it should be, man. You could get him down to comfortably, like if you can get him down to like, because I mean, let's be honest, I wouldn't want to say what his body fat percentage is at the moment, but I'd say it's 20% at least. I would say,
no, 20% is a crazy number.
Yeah, it's over there. It's over there. If we can get him to 20%, that'd be awesome.
I don't think it's over that. I think it's over. Okay. Now I'm going to defend Luka because someone has to. This year, I would say he came in actual good shape. This year, because think about it, he had a personal trainer that went with him everywhere. You saw him before games, before the shoot around. He had a personal trainer working him out. This year, he came in shape. The problem that you had was that he came in with an injury also. That's the problem that I have with Luka. He has to sit the fuck down.
Larry, it's not just that, though. Let me ask you this. So when James Harden, other than the fat suit James Harden, is he in shape? outside of
no.
When he's not so let's say when he's not fat James Harden, quote unquote. When he's not fat
James Harden though?
That's what I'm saying. When he cares, he's still fat. Do you feel me? He's still that James Harden because he's not in shape.
Yeah,
Luka's not in shape.
There's a big difference between cardio and being in shape too.
Yeah.
Somebody can have great cardio. I know people that had to have gastric bypass and they could ride a bike 115 miles. And then there are two different things.
He's not in basketball shape. I want to say when I say shape, I don't think I can mess with Luka.
I mean, look at Anthony Edwards, bro. Like that looks like supreme shape, and he is having to use a freaking oxygen mask when he's getting attacked by Kyrie all game.
Cardio was bad. Luka's a different thing though. So
Luka's cardio is good. I just, again, like you say, it's all that extra weight that he's carrying. The thing is, if it was muscle and it was like functional weight, that'd be different. But
I just think he's hurt.
Hey,
Luka's hurt.
here's the
Luka's
thing.
I
hurt,
think
Thank you,
he's
guys.
Eddie.
hurt.
That's all I'm saying. I think
It's not. I don't
we're
think it's
pushing it
shape.
now.
No, but
I
he's
don't.
no,
I honestly
I'm
don't
not-
think
I'm
it's
not-
shape.
He's
He's-
hurt because he's not in shape.
Yes.
No, but
yes.
he's hurt
No,
because
he's
he's also
hurt because he's
playing.
having to
He's
drag his
also playing
team.
high level basketball.
No.
Yeah.
Come on,
No,
man.
he's playing high level basketball, and on top of that, he's carrying two different rosters
And
all
Every
year round.
year.
Luka's the
And he's
only
overweight,
player that
and
had to do that, though. That's what I'm saying. They had to carry
He's
a
the
lot.
only. No, it's not like he. Okay, so a lot of these American players, they might have to carry rosters, but then they come into the national team, and it's all of a sudden this super duper like, hey, you can do Carmelo. Here's Kobe. Here's LeBron. Like that's not Luka. Luka's like, I have to carry the Mavericks, and then I come to this national team, and what? I got Goran Dragic's little brother's my second best player,
But then
or
Luka-
some Mike Toby. Yeah, he's like, oh,
Luka comes back to the Mavericks, had to take 2 weeks off.
When
Yeah,
does he
but-
have to make the decision about when?
But then he comes back to the Mavericks and has to take 2 weeks off to get back in shape.
Yes, no, that's
But
what
a
I
lot
think
of people
me,
take
that's what
off
me,
more.
No, that's what me and Andy are saying though. He has to take 2 weeks off because he needs a break.
No.
It's not because he needs to get in shape. It's because
When he came back to with the West Conference Finals, he didn't need a break because he was injured. He needed a break because he was fat.
yeah.
Nah.
Because Reggie Miller
no.
called him
He
out, and
does-
he was in the worst shape of his career, and then he had to take a break because he had to go get slimmer.
Okay,
I give you
but
that one. You're right, Rick.
But this time round, he just needs a break because he's injured. It's as simple
No,
as that.
he
No, I
needs
think
a
it's
break.
both. It's
He
both.
just both. Two things can be right. That's what I keep trying to tell you at the same time.
If he was in better shape, he wouldn't have all the knick-knack injuries.
Yes, take the whole offseason off and get yourself into the best shape you can be. Luka already loves vices. Why do we pretend like he doesn't? We know he smokes. We know he drinks. We know he does all that. He doesn't like cardio and all. He's
Man,
not in good shape.
I tell you what, the thing is, he's one of these guys that, and like I'm, speaking from experience here, that because he is obviously a big lad. Once he slims down, he'll be absolutely yoked. And that's the thing, because he's a strong dude. Like he's so strong. Like you say, his legs are like probably some of the strongest in the league, right? In terms of just functional strength.
People can deal with vices, man. LT's the best. LT's the best defender we've ever seen.
Everybody
LT's been the best defender of all time.
You're right. He loves You're right. I'm not saying you can't have your vices. I'm just saying we know he has his vices, so he has to go above and beyond to support his vices. Michael Jordan smoked cigars and all that and drank and all that, but Michael Jordan wouldn't have gotten the best shape of his career.
Yeah, but he does
right to play. You feel me? Like these guys, I'm just saying we know he has the vices. Dirk was a different guy. Dirk didn't like weights and all that much, so Dirk stopped his vices.
Yeah, but I mean the thing is with things like that, with these vices, I mean a lot of these things they do like I say after they've won a championship. You see him smoking a cigar after he's won a championship. After he's achieved something. Like he hasn't achieved anything yet. He needs. That's the whole point. Like so
they don't call Luka drinking and smoking hookah and all. Like they catch him all the time at little places chilling. And I'm not even saying he has to stop doing that, but like it ain't when he wins. Only been he. Luka
So hold on. So what do you think?
Trade that hookah out for some cannabis, bro, and expand your lung capacity. How about that?
So what do you think will be more beneficial for him for his recovery? Taking a break, having a real off season, where he can take 2 weeks off. Not even 2 weeks off. He can take how many other weeks off, and then not have to play high level basketball, or just because that too is contributing to him.
Hold on, Nancy. Let me respond to Annie with Annie. You think, and then aren't you worried? I'm not worried. I'm not gonna say I'm worried, but I'm gonna tell you it's a narrative. If Luka's not playing basketball, what is he doing? Probably getting bigger because he's 6. He didn't play basketball for 2 weeks for one time and came in the season at 260. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm not even like knocking. I'm just calling a spade a spade. It is what it is. Like, so why not do both? Why not take time away from basketball and then?
It's possible. I'm asking you.
Can I respond for Andy?
Go
My
ahead.
bad.
Oh, and Nancy, hold up, Nancy. What did you want to say first? Then Larry.
No, let Larry go and then I'll go because I wanted to say something else about the championship too. Go ahead, Larry.
Go ahead, Larry.
I get okay, and that's where I think we agree with you, King, but we're different on the path of the problem, real quick. Because like from my understanding, this year he did change everything. He went and got a personal trainer. He went and got a personal chef. Like he got a nutritionist. Like he switched everything up. The problem was he came in with injury. Especially now that you have a kid, you can go as a father. Trust me, it's way easier to go out and party when you don't have a kid. When you have one, you can't do nothing. And every time you look up,
I'm not
that's what I'm saying.
I don't want y'all to think I'm telling y'all it's not a disagreement. I'm just saying y'all. It sounds like y'all saying only do the one thing. I'm like Luka can go in the off season and just go. Why not? If he off from playing basketball, go lift weights and rehab. I saw Kristaps do it.
So the reason why I say what I'm saying is because everyone always constantly goes at Luka's weight. Oh, he's this or whatever.
This isn't ESPN.
I know, that's what I'm saying though. But
I'm just talking about Luka.
Yeah. So, but if we're trying to be precise about what is the situation, it is not just Luka's weight. There's the fact that he is playing and he's high usage basketball
all year long.
Almost 12 months in a year.
Yes, I agree. And I'm not. So, and that's what I said. I'm not disagreeing with y'all. You guys are right. I'm just saying. I think I want to add on to it. Is what I'm saying. Hey, I'm the independent, or I'm the third party. Hey, take my idea too. I don't think Luka should do that. Take time off. But when he's taking time off, why not? Go do some sit-ups real quick, Luka, and all that real quick. The crunches. Sit there and instead of just having a personal chef, get a real personal trainer and tell them a look that you're trying to accomplish. It's that simple. You're paying for a personal trainer. Tell them a look you're trying to accomplish. The trainer and the chef have to do nothing. You don't.
Is Grover still around?
Who?
Grover. Tim Grover.
I'm not even. I haven't seen him forever.
Yeah, that's the guy that trained Mike and Kobe.
Yeah, I know trained Mike. I know. I haven't. I don't think so because last person.
No, he still is because he trained somebody recently. I just heard it. I just heard his name recently, like last year.
He makes 40-something million. He can pay somebody. Bro, I wish I could pay somebody to just make meals for me and have a trainer every time and say, "Hey, come here. I'm gonna motivate you every day. Be in your ear. I need get your ass up in the morning. We gotta get to the gym. You got a gym in your basement. Let's go. We down here and all that. Well, you just gotta get the hell up and do what they tell them to do.
Adam Sandler.
Hey, nothing easier than being rich when it comes to that.
It's not like me and you. He's making $42 million a year. It ain't hard.
Gonna go up.
He could have a full-time staff. He could have a full-time staff doing everything to get him to do that. Yeah. Well, there's really no excuse. No excuse at all.
That's my only thing. It's no excuse. I understand all the stuff y'all saying. I got it. I'm just like he owes his job something too. He owes Slovenia and he owes Dallas is paying him $40-something million a year. That's his job. Imagine going to my job getting paid. I'm the superstar CEO getting paid such and such million and say, oh, I don't really care that much. I know I'm that good at this and all that. You better give the extra effort still, bro. You the CEO. I'm sorry. I can see it both ways. I don't care. Hey, man, I can watch the U.S. and see somebody say they out of shape and all that. They shouldn't be playing. Like, it is what it is. He needs to get into the best shape he can if he wants to be that guy. That's what I think. My thing, I always hold Luka to standard. I think he wants to be that guy. But then people tell me he doesn't care about being that guy. Which one is it? That's how I feel. Like, does he want to be that guy or does he not want to be that guy? If he doesn't want to be that guy, then I don't care what the media says about him because he doesn't want to be that guy.
But that's why I said that I think we both agree, but we got two different paths on the issue. That's why I even said like things have to change now. I know for some people it might not seem that way, but the moment you say, okay, I'm gonna get married and I'm gonna have a kid, maybe for rich people it's completely different. Cool, I understand that. But on the flip side, for a normal person, myself, for example, you have to slow down. You have to stop doing certain stuff. You just have to because you want to be able to go run around the playground with your kid. Like there's certain things. That's what I'm saying. Like we agree that but that's why I said I think the reason why you didn't see the full growth and development was because he decided to play with Slovenia last year. Yeah. Now the hope is that he doesn't play this year.
But I
don't think he won't.
Whole growth. But
I think he's playing this year.
I saw Luka grow. I want y'all to say that I'm not Luka, this is not the bashing Luka. Luka was the MVP of the season. He was the MVP of the league. I feel like I don't want y'all to think anything because I know every time anybody says something about Luka, it's the end of the world. I'm not. Luka's
no, I'm not a hero.
Yeah, he's amazing. Luka is the best player in the league. I will stand behind that. But I think Luka can be the best player in the league by far. How about I say that? I think
the unquestionable, the undisputed.
There's no question, and it's like a LeBron or like a Kobe and all that, and it's like ain't nobody touching.
Like he can have his own era if he wants.
Yes, I think Luka can be that guy. I think the NBA is open right now. It's waiting for Luka to be that dude, and he has the full control to be it. It's about him if he decides to be it or not.
King, can I change the topic a little bit for a moment? I got something I want to ask. Yes,
please.
And I felt like we've probably done this one to death about Luka's weight. So I was gonna ask you guys what you think about obviously the upcoming draft. We've got literally pretty much the last pick in the draft, and obviously
it is the last pick in the draft. Yeah,
it literally is. So I'm thinking, speculating, what do you think we do with that? What is the best route with that? Because I mean, do we draft someone? Do we trade it? I mean, the thing is, I don't know. Because I mean, with Nico, he's so resourceful. What he has, I was looking at that trade earlier that OKC did with the Bulls, and I was thinking, man, you're the Bulls front office, and you didn't ask for one pick. You could have literally, man. I was so disappointed in the Bulls front office. I was like, man, they've got 17 first-round picks, and you didn't ask for anything.
But
you're literally like, oh, we'll just take Giddy.
They gave up, man. Then they gave up. So that's why I say before, like, you never all that. We don't have enough. That's BS, man. Stop. You can always have enough. The Lakers always have enough. The Celtics always have enough. You always have enough. You just got to make the deal work. It'll come around somehow, some way. That's how I always feel. Last year, Alex Caruso was worth 4 picks. That's what they were yelling.
Hey, man, we got freaking PJ Watson for 2 unplayable players and 1 first-round pick, bro. Like, I'm not trying to hear that we don't have enough shit. I'm sorry, I'm just not. And even when you see that trade from yesterday, I will say this though: a lot of people gassing up that trade, but man, that small ass team just got a lot smaller. Like dude,
they're more.
They don't have look.
They fit.
First off, real quick, let me say this: I don't give a damn what Basketball Reference says, bro.
I got you, and I didn't even.
SGA ain't no 6'6".
I ain't been on no.
That dude is 6'5" at best.
I haven't been.
They're playing 4 starters that aren't over 6'5", bro. And
they're not done. They don't
I think the same issues are going to be there.
They shouldn't be done.
No, they're not done. They're not done at all.
This extends the series against the Mavericks. They don't lose in 5. That's because Caruso, if he's healthy, that's his issue. Caruso gets banged up. That's his issue with him. But if he's healthy, he's better than Josh Giddey in every way. Even though he's smaller, he plays bigger. He's just better than Josh Giddey.
In that series, if he's there, we have to play them like boss.
Yeah, like they can't just leave Josh Giddey wide open. Caruso knocks down that shot. And he gets to the rim and make plays and all. Like, Caruso is one of those guys. He's just a high IQ player that has a little skill. Like, he's good. He's just
Drew Holiday-like.
He's one of those like all around, like,
and then
it's good at everything.
That's gonna be Derek White and Drew Holiday all over again.
Yeah, for them, that's their Derek White, Drew Holiday type of move. Yes, and if they go get a center with them, they're pretty dangerous.
And they don't even have to give up picks. They could just get one off the market.
No, I'll say this.
Andre Drummond is open.
No. They want to play 5 out. If they were to go get Bobby Portis, then they'd be scared as fuck.
Aren't the Bucks thinking of moving Brook Lopez as well?
Are you going to move old boy to the 5 position?
Holmgren?
Yeah.
Chet
does play 5. Chet does play 5.
He's not a 5 though. He's a 4. No. He's not a rim protector. He's a help side defender. His position is, and you can play him with another big because he's able to space the floor, right?
Hey.
Now, if they wanted to go 5 out, that's what I'm saying. Like somebody like a Brook Lopez or a Bobby Portis would really help them out. But, bro, you're playing 4 dudes that's 6'5", man. That's not a good look.
Yeah, your starting 4 is still.
Bro, I really think y'all thinking about it too deep. Y'all just thinking straight on height. We were saying before that OKC was a watered down version of Boston before we played Boston. We thought playing them was going to give you a heads up on Boston. OKC now, the weakness I kept yelling to Relle on them. They don't have Josh Giddey though. They don't have Josh Giddey. I kept yelling that like they don't have Josh Giddey because Josh Giddey, you play differently. You play the perimeter now. Like your big guy Lively and them can't stag in the paint. Josh Giddey
what
let him do that.
Counter that? What do you do to counter that? Because our biggest assets through the entire playoffs was our center position, the dual center position.
You got to hope Lively.
So you can't allow them to take everything away, and that's what it felt like. We, our coaching staff, allowed them to take everything that was our signature.
You tell Nico to scrap that idea of what he was saying in the press conference.
What?
And
that's not him.
And Lively needs to shoot probably 4 threes a game.
That's not
Nico. That's Kid.
That's Kid not allowing him to do it.
Yeah,
He's been able to do it.
And I mean, if that's Kid, then it's just you have to break it. Like I think he doesn't. Maybe he's having a hard time understanding modern basketball, right? Because it's just like, look for example, right? Look at the Celtics in 2022, right? Like, yes, it was used to clown Tatum, cool, whatever. But their issue was, number one, I'll be honest, I think Marcus Smart's DPOY was fugazi as hell. I think Drew Holiday is a much better defender while also being a contributor on offense. And then not just that, when they were playing Robert Williams, they were still playing a 4-out lineup. Yeah. And that's cool to go to, but in modern basketball, that's just not a reality.
We need a stretch. And I know we're about to end the show, guys, because it's in 2 hours, but we need a stretch. That's why even when I first tried to get on this show, my first conversation with Relle was Miles Turner will be perfect on this team, bro. That was literally my first comment to Relle on this show. And it's because Miles Turner can defend the interior paint, but he also shoots the ball and makes you so that you can play 5 out and don't have that Maxi Kleber on the floor. You can get rebounds and all that type of stuff still and do that in possession still. We need, if Derek Lively shoots, like he don't even got to shoot 4. He just has to shoot something where a defender will look at him and be like, I need to stand over there a little bit because if he passes to Lively will knock down that open 3 and I need to go back and forth and lean.
We literally saw it. We literally saw it in one possession. One possession, Lively going to shoot a 3, pulled Jason Tatum away from the
And did you see Tatum's face?
Yep.
Hey, really quick before we end the show, can I say something really, really quick? I got to give King credit because he's smarter than me on the fact that I didn't think the Detroit Pistons would fire Monty Williams because you still got to pay him like $70 million over the next 4 years. And also, we got something to praise because Sweeney got a head coaching job lining up. He's getting interviewed.
I know, man.
What happened?
But do you want to lose Sweeney now, though? Do you want to mess the team up now? I'm like, damn, yo, we're going to lose that guy.
Do you remember when Sweeney used to be our head coach?
I know.
He got interviewed.
I hate messing up chemistry, though, man. We just made it to the finals. It's like, I know
that. Do you remember when Sweeney was our coach?
I know. I don't want him to be our coach. I'm not saying the coach. Hell no. But I'm just saying, like, it's chemistry, though. Like, we just made the finals, which I know when you make it to the finals, your coaches get looked at. It is what it is. I mean, you're doing well. Your players making the coaches and all look good. But, damn, like, Jason Kidd got to pick somebody else. Do I trust him picking somebody else?
I can improve that position.
Isn't he
he got baby?
Where?
Isn't it Detroit?
He got a couple of interviews. I think it is Detroit. And the Lakers really did go get JJ Redick. Oh my God, the Lakers are stupid. They really are stupid.
I told you.
I can't believe y'all really went and got JJ. Detroit really fired Monty, even though you gave him
Let me ask you
What?
this.
Almost $100 million contract.
Well,
I'm sorry. Go.
The Lakers not no. So Monty between his contracts, he's still making more than Luka Doncic. But
they money whipped Monty though. He didn't even want that job.
It don't even matter.
No.
He got. I wouldn't even care about coaching right now. Go get a broadcasting job and enjoy your life. But Larry, as far as damn, I forgot what you said that quick. You said Monty. What else did you say?
Lakers.
Monty, Sweeney, and JJ.
JJ getting the job. Do y'all think now the Lakers crazy enough to spend that pick on Bronny, y'all? Since they went and got JJ, man.
Rich Paul done came out and said that he don't care who go gets Bronny. LeBron is not going to decide off that.
Yeah, I know I know. Don't pay attention to what Rich Paul saying right now. He's just trying to get Bronny. Like, don't pay
money.
He's doing his job for his client. Don't pay attention to Rich Paul. He's doing his job. Do you think that you didn't think they were gonna get JJ? You were like, that's Braun. That's his guy.
Hey,
issue.
Rich is talking about like he's looking at Bronny for going to Dallas.
Yeah, I know. I already talked about that, but what
because of the connection.
Since they're just doing stuff in Lake, it seems like they're going to go out and make LeBron happy. I thought they were going to learn from the Kobe Bryant experience, and LeBron not Kobe as far as in LA.
No,
so I thought they were going to just let him go and say we're not going to do this again. It looks like the Lakers are going to run with LeBron again.
Look, King. I'll say this before the show closes. It's so funny that most Lakers fans are Dallas Cowboys fans because they both operate in the same way.
One just won a bunch of championships.
Yeah. When you're saying a bunch, are you like, dude, like, okay, yeah, with the top four players of all time.
Hey, they get them though,
they
man.
win a lot of championships.
How many have they drafted? They ain't draft none of them players other than Magic and them. They didn't draft Kobe. They didn't draft Shaq. They didn't draft LeBron. They didn't draft AD. Hey, they get players. I ain't mad at them.
Hey, let them do them. But like Genie Bud, like, come on, man. These dudes couldn't come up with $8 million for Dan Hurley. So they decided to go.
Stupid things, but they're not afraid to spend money. That's why I'm saying, like, all them players I named, they did not draft any of those guys. So if they can get them, I wish we can get guys like that to be like, damn, you know what? We ain't gonna rebuild again, y'all.
Did they announce kid contract?
All those, yes, they did. All those players that you're talking about, that was Dr. Bus. Not Genie Bus.
Genie got LeBron and AD.
Not the Ramses. Like
they got LeBron and AD and got a ring.
Yeah, they did that.
They would have got Kawhi if it wasn't for Magic.
Yeah, they got a ring.
Yeah, prospect to them. They got a ring. That's cool. They're not
Boston.
But if we're being, it's funny. It's like the two biggest talked about franchises in the NBA have basically put together 3 decades of relevancy.
Nah,
right?
I won't, Micah. I can't let you do that. The Lakers have won a championship in every decade, bro.
Okay, cool. They won it.
Do you wish if the Mavericks won a championship every decade in existence? That'll be love right now.
Oh, absolutely. Especially right now.
That's what I'm saying. The Lakers are not
especially right now. Like people are having conversations. Like, so the conversations that have been going around about someone in this era that can enter top 10 all time, I don't think I see it.
I feel you.
To be honest,
I don't. It's not.
Yeah, I don't think I see it because I would tell you right now. So where are we at right now? So 2018. So that's been 6 years. I think we end up seeing 2 decades of no back-to-backs.
That's and if there's no back-to-backs and the Lakers are still winning one every decade, that's what I'm saying. I hear you with the Celtics. The Celtics, I got you. I can't agree with the Lakers though. The Lakers every decade have won one championship. I gotta give them credit for that. It's hard as hell to win a championship in the NBA. It's hard as hell to win a championship in sports. So to win one, to know you damn sure gonna win one probably every decade, I'm okay with that. with the ups and downs. Like, it is what it is. They going through this hell right now because they just won a championship 4 years ago. You feel me? Like, oh, okay, we going through this hell and we still trying to make up for it. We ain't won a championship since 2011.
They going through this hell right now because piss poor man.
And that's what I'm saying. They got piss poor management that ain't afraid to spend money though.
No, I agree with that. I'm not knocking that, but I mean, like,
I agree. They make dumb decisions.
Yeah, I was like, y'all, like, I can't believe it.
Larry, they can make them up though. That's the thing. The Lakers can make dumbass decisions, right, and get right out of it though. In some foolish way, you like, how the hell did they do that?
I'm not disagreeing. Like I said, I ain't no way in hell you would have told me, Jay. And I like JJ, and I think JJ's smart, but I think JJ needs to be an assistant first. I think he needs to be an assistant first.
I think JJ.
That's all. I don't think he's going to be a bad one. I'm willing to say he'll win 50% of the games this year, at minimum 50%.
But do y'all think he ends up basically going through a Jason? Do y'all think he basically ends up going through a Jason Kidd type arc to where it's like, okay, maybe I'm not good enough to be a head coach yet, and got to be an assistant.
No,
because he had the talent he had.
Yeah,
having AD and LeBron. No,
and he isn't as the thing with Jason Kidd. Most great players have to get around being great, and everybody else not being great. JJ was a great role player in the NBA, so I think he'll come right into it with the mindset of being a good coach. I think he's going to be a great coach. Now, I don't, like I said, the whole image of the LeBron thing in him, I don't like that. That's not a good move as far as having a podcast all together. And like, that's what the hell? Like, you're literally just doing what LeBron James wants you to do. But I think JJ going to be a great coach. I think he'll be a great coach, actually. Like I think he's going to be Steve Kerr type coach and all. I think he's going to be awesome.
Most good head coaches that were players were.
He understands. Yeah, true. Like, the best coaches ever are role players. Like, you look at Steve Kerr, Ty Lue, Phil Jackson,
Greg Popovich. Pop was the player at first. I thought
Greg Popovich wasn't a player.
No, Pop didn't play, bro.
Who else was it I was thinking of? You made me forget real quick. You said Steve Kerr. Just in general, Don Nelson. Like all of these old players, Mo Cheeks. I mean, not Mo Cheeks. Well, Mo Cheeks was alright, coach. He wasn't worse. Lenny Wilkins. And Lenny Wilkins actually was nice, though. I'm lying. Lenny Wilkins was one of the nicer coaches that was actually a decent player. But I'm about to end this show, though, y'all, because we went over. We know we can talk for like 5 hours if I just continue to go. But I appreciate them. Put everybody backstage real quick. Thank you, everybody.
All right, Kenny. Have a good weekend, brother.
You too, Mike. Appreciate you. Oops. Appreciate you, Andy. All right, y'all. Man, did Relle do the other stuff? I guess since it's like a regular show, Relle left me like this, so I'm gonna have to like show the sponsors. So, quick shout out to our guys over at Court Kings.
We are excited to announce our new partnership with our friends over at Court Kings, and we appreciate them blessing us with their new Dallas Mavericks collection. This will not only include Dallas Mavericks-based shirts, but We Talk Mavs themed shirts as well. Be sure to check out our exclusive link on the screen or in the description to help the channel and rep the best Dallas Mavericks postgame show in the world. Much love to the entire crew over at Court Kings again for believing in us and taking a chance on the channel. Salute.
Definitely keep a lookout on our social medias and all. We'll definitely post stuff. We're not done. We should have some more shirts and all apparel going into next season. It's not going to be a long off season because we got so far. Shout out to the Mavs. But next year we got a different goal. So like I said, shout out to Court Kings again. We should be having some new merch there soon. The merch this year was incredible. It was fire, and it should only get even better. But also, pretty soon we're going to be doing some watch-alongs, and we're going to try to get guys actually from other channels, just representation of other, I guess, fandom
different teams like the Hawks. We talk Hawks, you know, the regular guys, but even more to try to join us on Playback because we want to start showing some classic games for you guys. So, you know, some of you guys are younger and haven't seen as much of the old school. And I know a lot of you want to be done with the 90s, but we want to show y'all the 90s and how skilled and great these guys were, but early 2000s, 80s, just basketball in general. I had some other knowledge there, some other knowledgeable heads that can talk about it as well and recap the games and how they felt and just situations at that time. But with all that being said, I guess I should give a shout out to Playback as well if I know where that is. Where is Playback, bro? Here it is. Shout out to Playback. Make sure to download the Playback app. It should be available wherever you download your apps, or you can follow us on Playback TV. We Talk Mavs. You'll see us there. Join. I think we're on our way to 300 members there. I remember we had no one. That was just yesterday. But yeah, we're almost at 300. Help us get there. Still in our goal here to get to 3K, y'all. We're trying to. Shout out to the Norm. Shout out to Cuz We Geek. You already know Relle and Will over there talking about the geek culture. They just talked about what Blade really come out, all different kind of stuff. Just check them out. They finally got to 100. They're on their next goal of 500. They should get there pretty soon. Y'all help them out if you could. Just subscribe. Please leave a like on the video for this video right here, y'all. For the Mavs and for everybody jumping on stage. We appreciate you all. Subscribe if you haven't already. Join if you want to be a member and you want to be able to hop on stage and talk to us. I should be right beside the subscribe button. If you're on Android, if you're on an iPhone, you may have to go in Safari and go to your desktop browser. Ask for a desktop browser instead of a mobile browser, and go click join that way. You can join us here on Fridays. We usually have members only shows. It's not usually open to everybody. We did a special show today, but members only shows on Friday mornings. But if it's a game or some type of event that we're covering on Fridays, we have our members only post game show. So we let guys do exactly, or ladies do exactly what they did today. And let's come on stage with us, members of the YouTube channel, and talk with us and wrap it up for a while. But other than that, guys, you already know it's your boy King here. Rel had to go take care of some business. We Talk Mavs. I don't know when we'll be back. We'll definitely be back next Friday for the members. We have to figure out the normal schedule. We definitely want to get something out to you guys. But check us out. Make sure you follow us on all our media. It's in the description. Like I said, we definitely keep everyone up to date on there. But other than that, it's your boy King again, and We Talk Mavs. And it was a good one, y'all. Appreciate y'all. And we'll see y'all again next time. Peace.